Well, everybody,
I think I
welcome.
hear my mom calling me.
Everybody,
I didn't hear her.
welcome to
Gina must be on mute.
everybody. Welcome to
She's in
Roundtable
she's in the kitchen
18.
where she
You
belongs.
fuckers. Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Oh, here we go with you two.
Uh,
You two, let me know when you're done.
She'll come up and punch me in the head. Don't worry.
It's not going to hurt you.
She's got to stand on a ladder to get to my head. Anyways, go on.
There we go. All
Ben, are you
right.
going to start? Or Bob, whichever one you are?
I'm just waiting for you two to finish. That's all. Everybody, welcome to Roundtable 18. We're
I
gonna
just
go
want to point
through.
out I never saw 17 posted anywhere.
Did it not post to YouTube?
Oh, I did earlier week.
Wait, it
Sure, it
didn't
did.
go. It did or it did not?
I think it did.
So now I'm gonna have to
I
check
never
because
saw a
I.
link to it anywhere.
I thought
Now
I
I'm
did.
gonna
I
have
thought
to
I
go and
did.
check. All right. Well, if it didn't post, that's my bad. But I definitely put it up on uploading for it to post. So if it didn't, then I have to check what's going on. Maybe my computer fucked up. But anyway, this is number 18. So we're gonna go through an intro, everybody, super quick. We got a lot to talk about. I don't think very many people are interested in showdowning a whole lot right out the gate, but there are those that want to. So I respect that, and we're gonna try and wrap this up before 3 p.m., which is 2 hours from now. So
It would be wise to do showdown.
yeah, to get your coins stock up for in case they do an event the following week. But I don't think they're going to do another showdown the following week.
They always do a showdown the first week of the MLC. Not once has there not been a showdown the first week of the MLC.
I mean, look, if that's the case, then we'll be here for Roundtable 19 next week. We'll see how that plays out.
For there being a feud for the first week of an
They
MLC over
they
this last year.
they've never done that. Not since I want to say October when Valor Club was the one, or Squalor Club was given to us, was the last time that they actually did a. Well, I don't know what they did between January and like fucking May, but I find it really odd if they did a feud because they don't give enough people enough time to get feud perks, and they want us to get our feud perks.
Well, guys, let's try and introduce ourselves so everybody knows who's talking, in case no one's listened before. I'm the host, 2Bob29. With me, I got AJ Mad.
Oh,
Sorry. Need to introduce our factions as well. 2Bob29 from the new ministry. I also have AJ Mad with me.
AJ Mad from 1%.
I have Broken with me.
Uh, Broken 963 from the new ministry. You could all go fuck yourselves.
I have Godflow with me.
I'm Godflow from 1%, and I'll also go fuck myself.
I have Sam with me.
Sam 112622, also from the new ministry.
You say 113622, but your name is 112622.
I
It
said
sounded like the
112627.
it sounded a little bit like the R Truth defining the 24/7 title there being.
That's fair. I'll give you that one, Flo. Uh, and finally, I've got Bear with me. Bear will be sprinkling in commentary. I guess not right now is not one of those times. Um,
You didn't even give me a chance to say anything.
you were still muted and just and just sat there.
Well, I'm still here.
Okay, welcome, Bear.
Faction are
And
you
Broken
with,
can go
Bear?
fuck himself. What's that? Which
I said
faction?
what faction?
The new ministry.
Also, just for anybody that's still wondering, if you still want to be on one of the podcasts, again, just shoot me a DM, get you in the podcast server, and onto the section where I pretty much just ask whoever wants to be on the podcast. It's not really that hard. Want to give everybody a chance to talk. So if you want to represent your faction or whatever you think individually, definitely feel free to hit me up. So let's talk about the current monthly, where we all ended up with Lacey, where she's at. Are you still putting anything into her, like TP coins? You working her up still, planning to work her to 5-star bronze? Because I know there's a couple people that are. Orton, did you get Orton 3-star? Did you get him 4 gold? What ended up happening with that? Where'd you finish the MLC point wise? And just pretty much talking about the month, your prize wall. Like what was your experience with the MLC this month?
I loved it.
Okay. And any expanding on that statement?
It was good. On to the next subject.
Yeah.
It made me happy. No, I mean I like the reduced tours. It's a ton of blitzing. That's the only complaint I have. But I ended up with Lacey maxed at 4-star gold, Orton 4-star gold, and I'm going to I'll finish in the top 100 overall. So it's been a good event, but I think a lot of the characters were paywalled, which I paid for. So I felt like for once I can't complain about an event where they benefited the whales. But otherwise, it was decent.
All right, I'll give it to you.
Your Orton.
What was that?
What's
Avery?
that?
Did you get Orton to add the 4 gold fuse for Orton?
Yeah, I went with the fuse. I'm cautious about how tokens are going to land, just because I see the economy shifting. So it was a big debate, which I'm sure is going to come up, whether to take the 2,000 TP or whatever the TP points you could have gotten versus the fuse. So I went fuse because I just feel like the tokens are going to start drying up again. So I'm hedging.
I think we're in a time where we're seeing 4-star gold tokens were the stranglehold, and I think that they're coming around much more often than they were, let's say, a month or two ago. And I think your bottleneck and your choke point is actually going to be your TP now. That's not coming any faster, and you're needing to use a hell of a lot more of it for 7 moves instead of just 5, 6. It's especially with the new 5-star silver coming out or however you want to put it. I think TP is going to be the biggest choke going forward.
I know the trial is something we'll talk about later, but to kind of piggyback on that point, the 5-star bronze trial card that they gave to everybody took over 10,000 TP to max out. That's just one card, and that's just 3 colors. It's a lot of TP for
7 moves.
It's a lot of TP, like a lot for a single card. So I understand where you're coming from on that, and I was gonna talk about this too because it's part of the Royal Rumble Tour thing also. You have to fight 5-star silver cards now, and 5-star bronze cards that are really really strong, and they still drop 1 TP. So to keep up with the resources, it just doesn't seem like you're going to be able to always keep up with TP regardless how much you farm.
I mean, 1 turn, 1 TP. I think it seems kind of fair.
Tell that to the thousands of players, or the tens of thousands of players that cannot turn one of those guys.
I don't understand why the Royal Rumble tours do not conform to what they told us with, the TP drops, not just the TP drops, but also the amount of coins or the metal types that can be gotten in the loot boxes in the Royal Rumble tour like they do for all the other tours. You can't get, there's no tier 3 medals available in the Royal Rumble tour. 2 is the highest I've ever gotten. So those
Probably
loot
because
boxes.
they
Go ahead.
probably copy and pasted and then forgot to change that feature as per usual. 'Cause that's actually a feature I noticed in the tours that are going on now, which I actually really like that we'll get to later, every single tour is an exact copy and paste.
It's just
They just require different people.
it's just a lot of resources. It really is to go back to it, at least in my opinion, versus the amount of tokens that may be required. You know, like
Definitely.
at least in my opinion, right? So hear me out in this case. Maybe I really like Orton, but there's people that also put Orton in a very similar tier that they put Zombie Triple H in the sense of these are very, very strong striker cards that will punch up very easily, like very, very easily. They will hit way above their own weight class. So yes, while it would be in my favor to want to take a 4-star gold and eventually move them 5-star, just like people have and people want with their Zombie Triple H, there are times that I sit here and think to myself, I already have the 3-star. I have recruited it, like I've done that, and and I'm just thinking about how strong he already is, and maybe I take him to 4 bronze, and maybe I use some tokens, and maybe I really like him, take him to 4 silver, and then maybe he becomes a project down the road. But at that point in time, I don't feel like I'll be that hard pressed for tokens. I feel like in the meantime, the amount of TP that's going to go into him when I'm working up other characters that are top tier, that are male or female, that are always required now. A lot of people are going to be getting Gargano this month, and I will thankfully be one of them with the amount of bags they're giving out. I think there's Drew possibilities, and there's other possibilities for top tier cards that people are going to get this month from a lot of shards. So there's a lot of cards that people are going to want to build up, and it's different. It's different in the sense of I don't really value the tokens too much, but again, like Bear was saying, everybody has a different take on it. So in my particular case, the 2k TP, when a card needs 10k TP to get maxed at 5 bronze, and like, yeah, even if you want to take the final move away, and yeah, you want to take all the 5-star like level ups away, it's still close to like 8,000 TP, like 9,000 TP. It's a lot. It's just something that I value the TP more in. It's a better way than having to do all the farm. But that being said, the card's top notch.
Back on the monthly subject, I managed to get my Lacey. Ironically, this is going to be the tell of 2 different things here. Lacey, I got to 4-star bronze, and she was sitting because, of course, her second move had to be black, and black TP is my current chokehold. But ironically, with Orton, I did take the 4-star gold fuse because, like there, I am seeing a shift where more TP and coins are being given out than tokens, I believe. And I think the tokens are going to start to choke off very heavily, and that's going to be a problem with people. When I say that I don't have the black TP, a lot of people in here do know, some might not. I save as the very beginning of an MLC. I do not open any of the TP I gain all month long. So I'm sitting on thousands and thousands of TP that I won't open until probably late tomorrow or Monday. And those will get me through the month. With that in the monthly, I maxed the first 4 TP events. I maxed every single coin event. Which I didn't think. Can hear. Here, I can move my mic a little closer.
I think you're fine.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it's floppy.
Okay. I didn't think I was going to be able to do. I think it was either week 3 or 4. I was getting real low where I had like 1 coin event, and then I'm not sure which events it really was because it just kind of like sprung on me. The coins just shot up out of nowhere.
12 days.
What was it? 12 days? Yeah.
It was a 12 days events between the TP and the coin prize wall for the league. That's what made a big difference to everybody.
Okay. But yeah, definitely the coins, the TP, they shot up. I was actually able to max every coin event. I think I think I'm still over, like, I have about 250 Orton shards over. So you didn't actually have to max everything like they said, but I'm not one to sit there and do all the math. If I get them, I get them. If I don't, I don't. Orton is gonna be ready. He's going 5-star bronze immediately. For what he does. He's gonna be rocking my showdown offense. Socko and him are probably gonna be rocking the defense, and I think I'm gonna be set for a time to come. With that, I think that's about it for this month. I kind of, when I open that TP, it's going to be tempting because I'm sitting on like 3,000 Lacey tokens. So the answer is going to be, do I want to spend that 15 million coin in order to take Lacey 4-star? I know she's the female Typhoon. There's a lot of healing, but I'd never use Typhoon to heal as it is. So I'm not sure exactly how much I will use her. So that's going to be an internal debate I need to make. It was a good month. I didn't get a whole lot of characters. I ended up getting Triple H twice. I pulled him, and then I got enough shards to recruit him. Which, again, ironically, even though I'm saying that the TP is going to come back, I used those shards that I had at 4-star silver to increase my 4-star bronze. Didn't get R-Truth. Didn't get AJ. I think that was it for the month. But that pretty much wraps up my month. It was a decent month. I wouldn't say great. A whole lot of blitzing, like somebody said before. More than I think anybody wanted. I remember it started out with that Keith Lee blitz that everybody wanted to kill everyone. Got a little bit better throughout, but I'd say a good B+ month.
All right, I'll go next. I brought my Lacey to 4-star silver. That's where she's going to sit for the rest of eternity. Like GoDFlow said, she's a female Typhoon-esque sort of character. And I never use Typhoon unless I absolutely have to. So I don't see any need to push her up. I finished the MLC. I got the 3-star card for Orton. And I'm like 250 shards short of the 4-star fuse point. Even if I got it, I wouldn't use it. My TP is just so weak right now, it's not even close to being acceptable. I completely ran out of red and yellow this month, to the point where it was under 50. And that hasn't happened to me in 2 years playing this game. So I personally feel like the TP is definitely the choke point going forward, especially looking at the new Royal Rumble tours. There's a hell of a lot more tokens in there than there is TP, and these events have been giving out a lot of tokens and not so much TP. Only character I managed to get this month was... Actually, I don't even know if I got a character this month, besides Orton.
You got Triple H, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I got Triple H. Yes.
For top 10.
That...
I didn't want to like call you out or
Oh
anything.
my
I was just
God.
waiting for you to like realize it on your own. But yeah, yes.
So yeah, Triple H.
For top 10 for Triple
That was kind of a smack in the face, because the shards weren't looking so pretty going into the event. I saw top 10 got it. At some point or another, Bob was like 12th. And I was like, oh, well, let me see where I am for ha-has. I was like 50th or 60th.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, let me just help out Bob. So after about an hour and a half of helping out Bob, Bob's 10th, I'm 13th. I'm like, okay, well, if I climb that fast, I guess I know what I'm doing all night. And that will be the very last time I feud all night for a
Somebody
feud.
record this. Record this.
Feud can
I need the
highly go
sound
fuck
bite.
itself. You know, you can have it. Trust me. We will crop out that specific part and make a YouTube video of itself for it, so that anytime I'm like, oh, I think I'm gonna stay up all night and feud, you could be like, link YouTube video. Enough said. It wound up biting me in the ass. I think I got third, fourth, fifth, something like that. Got the, or no, yeah, it had to have been like fourth or fifth. I got the 3-star gold card.
Hmm.
If I would have finished 11th, I would have gotten 400 shards, and I wouldn't be 5 shards short of the 4-star silver fuse point. So there's that. But falling similarly in lines with Orton, I think I'm just going to use the shards and level him up. I don't have very many tricksters I'm working on. And I have all the strikers in the world to work on, but they're all 4-star gold anyway, so I don't mind throwing tokens at Orton.
So I was in the same boat with you with Triple H, and then I was an idiot and then started doing pulls and then ended up pulling 4-star bronze Triple H.
Yeah, so.
Like, what the fuck? Like, what was the point of even feuding? What was the point of
Exactly.
any of that
But
shit? And then I'm
you know
sitting
how
there, I'm
this
like,
game works. You know how this game works. You only get them if you have them.
Right. And I'm sitting there,
So
I'm like, you know what? Now I have them at 4-star bronze with like 2,700 shards. Great. I guess I'm using all these shards and skipping the 4 silver.
I mean, yeah, you might as well at that point. I don't think he's great enough to warrant taking a 5-star.
He's
Maybe
fun. He's a fun
he's
card,
fun.
but like,
He's fun, but he's not the best Triple H.
correct.
He's not the best new gen.
Correct.
He's not even the best new gen trickster.
Absolutely not.
So, for somebody like me without Gooker, I might be a little bit more inclined to take him up, but not too much higher, because to be honest with you, it's almost comparable with IRS. If IRS is set up
If he's
properly.
5-star.
Yeah.
That's fair.
All in all, I like the tours. They were much shorter. I didn't have to sit there and get 7 blitz turnbuckles as a reward and feel like my time was being completely fucking wasted. I was able to wait until the last week to start doing my tours, which I favor that completely, and still get all the bonus points.
Yep. That's a big time win this month.
Because
for sure.
sometimes, especially with my line of work, sometimes I'll work 15 hours a day, and I don't have time to do the tours. I still have a family to come home and see and everything. So keeping keeping the contest superstars active for a month, I think was a massive win.
When you get those days that you can just grind towards the end of the month, I get what you're saying.
The blitzes, I think, were great this month in comparison to last month. Everybody's sitting here complaining and crying that there was so many blitzes and so much more blitzing to do this month. There wasn't. Last month was a lot worse. Last month is when everybody started running out of tickets. This month I finished with more tickets than I went into 2 months ago. And the reasoning is because throw $20 at the event and you're done. I know it's not just $20, but they're giving options for people who are already doing pulls. So you do hit that max milestone a lot quicker. There is a lot less stress on, all right, well, is everybody doing their blitzes? Now it's just well, if you didn't blitz and do your shit, bye. It's that simple. You don't have
I
to
think
get on
some of it
people.
also might be the daily Lacey blitz.
Yeah, especially if you bought the daily giving or the gift of giving daily pack or whatever at the beginning of the month.
Plus all the
And
blitzes
you
now.
had to do like freaking 60 blitzes. It's kind of absurd. And she's good. She finishes with full health, but she's not great. So,
Or fast.
or fast. Just 2 nodes. I
Gets
think I was able to do the JBL blitz faster with 8 nodes than I was able to do 1 Lacey blitz. It's like, come on. Overall, I'd say the month was a really big success. I'm seeing screenshots of people at rank 700, and they're on the cusp of hitting the max milestone and getting Orton. The bigger win is the plate in that last milestone was a plate exclusive to 100 members. So that is a massive plate for anybody using your zombie undertaker, your it just makes a couple guys so much better.
Oh, yeah.
Works on Big E.
I didn't realize how many people had maxed that. We'll talk about that event though. That's a
Yeah,
lot of
so
factions that max that.
well,
Sheesh.
no, I'm not talking about the APA plate. I'm talking about the Power Positivity plate in the end of
Oh,
the
the
MLC.
MLC. Okay, yeah,
I
that's
mean,
true.
you're talking about 700 people getting this plate,
Yeah.
as opposed to the 100 who had it before. Maybe 150 for people who pulled them out of the safes or whatever.
This is a lot of people with that plate. You are correct.
But I think that was honestly the biggest draw to maxing the MLC, because you could still do all the coin events, TP events, and you can still squeak out a 4-star gold copy of the card and still not have hit the final milestone, because I've seen it twice already. Otherwise, I don't think. I think some of the characters were quite paywalled for the, I guess, the tier of the character. I still don't understand Scopely. They're going to charge us an arm and a leg for AJ Styles, and they're going to turn around and give us Tech Cena for free. Like, the fuck are you thinking? But obviously, I don't say anything to them because let's keep letting them make that mistake. Otherwise, I would say that this is probably the best month we've had in a while, and I'm hoping that next month is even better, because next month is supposed to be the month that our feedback is more taken into account. So we will see.
It's always the end of the month that they always get everybody won over. Always that last week wins everybody over, and everybody
Well,
loses their hatred.
not to be fresh. It's the unknowing that gets everyone. It's, well, there's not enough shards. There's not enough contest points. There's not enough this. There's not enough that. And believe it or not, throughout the time, they do listen to the mods in the town hall, and they do reason with us to some capacity. Not every time, but sometimes. And you'll see that with the next MLC was a bitch fight we had with them 2 months ago, freaking out on them. But we'll get to that when we discuss the next MLC.
That's fair.
But that's the last week is the week where, okay, well, only 20 people have gotten the card. We need to get X amount of people more the card to have this be a successful business, however you want to put it.
Like a
So,
project, I get what you're saying.
yeah, so it's not successful when they do a month-long event and only 100 people get the card. Kind of similar to Trish. They don't really consider that successful. Obviously, they're still going to capitalize on it going forward, but that's not what they consider a success. Considering it a success is at the beginning of the month they choose, all right, 1% of players are going to get this item. And they have to try to manipulate things so between 0.9 and 1.1% of the players actually get that item.
I get what you're saying. They
Fuck,
need to keep it limited.
and they're going to fucking flip shit Monday morning. But hey, you know.
What about the showdown event?
Yeah.
You still think they are?
Oh, absolutely. That APA plate is way too valuable for how much we got.
I guess we could talk about that shortly. Anybody else on the monthly before we move on? A lot of people have spoken, but I don't think everybody has.
I got Lacey to 4 gold. So yay, there was enough tokens this month.
I remember that was a pain point for you last month.
It was. I ended up with Triple H and Soccer Mom AJ. I completed the MLC on Monday for the 3-star bronze Orton, and I was able to go back to get a bag last night to get the 4 gold fuse, and I did go ahead and use the fuse. But I do agree that we're seeing a bigger shift from the spend perspective, as far as they're trying to monetize resources instead of the pulls for the cards. I think that seems to be where they're pushing us. We're getting a lot more cards per month.
But you
With
notice how it's
the-
succeeding? I agree with you,
Mm-hmm.
and it's working.
It-
It's like you're angry about it too, and you know it.
And
What
trust
you're
me,
talking about.
and
we've seen it, and I know you've seen. Demon did a big write up on it, but it's something we've noticed. We tend to watch and we try to stay ahead and plan for the changes to the curve that are coming, and we try to pay attention to the slight changes and how they're. What are the things that they're trying to push us now for? So we try to
honestly,
stay ahead of those trends.
I do want to note that the mods in the town hall, their biggest push is resources. Because everybody needs resources. Not just, well, these guys have Hall of Fame characters and they need Hall of Fame tokens, so we need to push for that. It's everybody needs coin, everybody needs TP. If anybody says, nah, I don't really need coin, or nah, I don't really need TP, they don't even know what the fuck they're doing in this game.
Everybody needs TP, coins, tokens.
Every single card needs it. That's what it comes down
Yep.
to at the end of the day. I don't know if anybody really looked into, and I know that's not something that I really have on the list of us to talk about of the 12 days event and whatnot, but like it was spoken about briefly before. Those web portal offers for the amount of credits that they gave, uh, it's insane. The amount of coins and TP that they gave away for the amount of money that they were charging compared to their normal price. And you know how they always advertise, oh, this is a 333% off or some stupid random price. They tried to say that it was something like 133% off or price, like that was the crazy sale, whatever it was. And I'm thinking to myself like, huh, if I were to give you guys $100 normally, it wouldn't be 24 million coin and like 3,000-ish TP. It would be like 600 TP or 4 million coin. It wouldn't be
Right.
both.
And I
so
want to
I don't-
actually use that example right there.
So I don't think it's just an extra 33%.
I want to use that example right there that you just said. For $100, how much TP did you get? 2,400?
No, I got 24 million coin.
Okay.
And the amount of TP that you got was
Like
3,200.
3.5.
3,200.
It was 3,200. Thank you.
Depending
Okay,
on your
so
league. 17 was
This-
a little
this-
higher, 15 a little lower.
yeah, so this right here is exemplifying exactly that TP is the cutthroat right now. They're giving 24 million coins. That is a lot of coins. That is almost maxing out a 4-star gold character. It's what, like 6 million shy? 5 million, 5.5 million shy, something like that. And then you're given 3,200 TP. That doesn't even max out. That maxes out half of a 4-star gold's moves.
I think the problem is that Scopely is taking into account the sheer volume of shards that everyone has. The problem is where
Sure.
we're needing to spend TP is not where we have shards. So I think that's the reason that they haven't been focused on
Sure, but
adjusting
the shards
TP.
everyone has are shards for Kalisto, Halal Jamal, and fucking
Harlem Heat Booker.
Harlem Heat Booker and Tech Bret Hart. Oh, and Trickster Ric Flair. Everyone's got bajillions of those fucking TPs. We don't need more.
I mean, you're
We
right.
need shards, or we need TP for Orton, this, that, and the other, or Trish, or whoever else.
Right, but if they're just running a script on the back end and pulling flat numbers without looking
Which
at the
they
context
absolutely
of
are.
the numbers,
They absolutely are, because they tell us, well, your average player has X amount of million coins. Well, yeah, they're still checking Joe Schmo, who hasn't signed on to the game in 3 months and retired 3 months ago. And he's still being lumped into this. He has 100,000 Blitz tickets. Well, yeah, the people that have 100,000 Blitz tickets, there's a reason they have 100,000 Blitz tickets. They're not blitzing. It's that fucking simple. And it's something we're trying to fight with them tooth and nail. But the flat point is, whatever, regardless what the reason is, TP, I think, is going to become quite the stranglehold. I don't think any of us here have ever been in the situation where we're bringing up a card we want to bring up and we finally have enough coins and it's like, oh shit, well, I got to stop because of TP. For me, that hasn't been an issue in years. Maybe if you're getting hot and heavy into one specific color because you're bringing up 3 people with that specific color, sure, then maybe you would have run into it. But across the board, TP is just running low.
It's been a long time, but I am having that problem with green TP.
I mean, I've got so many 5-star gold tokens. I've got 20 of them sitting in my inventory unopened because I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I popped open yesterday. I was chilling with DJ on his Pull-Up-Palooza stream. It was pretty fun. He was opening pretty much everything. I think I opened like 34 5-star gold token cases.
Yeah, I mean,
It's like, what?
Everyone
I don't care.
Right now the chokes are coin, 4-star gold tokens, and TP. And TP is going to become quite the major factor going forward. I'm willing to bet you, especially at the demand of 6,000 TP a week. I mean, that $100 deal that Bob's talking about, that's half of 1 of 5 or 1 of 4 TP events.
And it was a killer fucking deal.
And that was
It was.
that was a superb deal in comparison to what they normally give us.
Yeah.
That's really the sad part.
Yeah.
So
right?
you figure
true.
what's that? $1,000 you would have to spend to max out the month's TP events.
If it was
That's
sold at that rate, yeah.
kind of absurd if you stop and think about it. And that's at the best rate we've seen. So
The
just
league
think about that
store
going forward.
was an awesome idea.
Yeah, but I think they
helped
gave
a
out.
lot of people.
I think they gave out too many resources. We won't see that for a while again.
They should just leave it there permanently.
They really
I
should.
agree, but once I saw there was nice little cute little snowflakes and they were all decorated with this glittery stuff, I knew that that's it. It's only around for X amount of time, and even if they do bring it back, it will be monetized to that specific window where, okay, well, next time they do it, they'll really choke it way back, and there'll be a nice little something for January. I don't fucking know.
Hey man, if
But
they release that once a month, with that deal once a month, that you may as well consider me a subscriber for
a
that
VIP,
once a month.
a league
Just getting
VIP.
ready to say that.
Instead of doing the starter pack. That would be my once a month purchase, hands down, instead of starting with a 3-star bronze card.
He says that would be my
fuck
once
this
a month
three-
purchase, as
Fuck
if
this
there's
3-star
one
bronze
once.
card. I'll do the fucking $20 purchase for the 2-star bronze card, so I can get the starting blitzes out of the way on the start of the month, which is whatever. And I know not everybody does that, but if you had that set up, that once a month with that league store credit, I will be rushing 3 people to 210 because I already have one there from the trial events. Ain't no problem with that. And I will go to League 17 and I will get my extra coin and TP from that too.
I was actually
month.
considering doing the math. I was like, 2 people up
I
there,
did.
60 million. I was like,
I
should
did.
I?
I had to take 3 people instead of 2 people, and that's what shafted it for me. I was like, all the TP is accounted for. I don't really care about that. The coin is what did me in. I was like, it's gonna cost me like 59 million coin from where I'm at with everybody to take 3 people up to 210 max in order to get like 6 million additional coin going from League 16 to 17, something like that.
Hey, if there's 1 million coin profit, I'm all about it.
Yeah, but I'm not spending 60 million coin to make 1 mil.
Yeah, sure, but you're spending 60 million coin to make 1 mil, but you're getting 2 maxed out cards ready to go 5-star silver.
Yeah,
So
but
it may
not be
losing
cards that I
anything.
want though, you know?
I mean, obviously, I'm sure by now you have a general idea, but we'll talk about that once.
Yeah. Anybody else on the monthly before I keep interrupting everybody?
Yeah,
Sam,
I got Lacey's at 4SS.
Ooh, picking it for once on the monthly character, Sam. I like it.
And she's ready to go 4SG.
Oh shit!
And she was going she was going 4SG until all you douchebags have just put a big down on her.
Wait a second. Hold on. Do you have the tokens for her or no?
Yeah, she's ready. She's ready to go.
So you could just click a button and she goes 4 gold?
Yeah, but what I'm going to ask Broken is he's got a better memory than me on this. Do them tokens last into next month?
No.
For about 3 days.
It's sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. The last 1 or 2, I believe, did not. Because
right, so
it upset a lot of people because they were holding onto them to use to evolve for the talent up.
Yeah.
And like I said, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I mean, sometimes we get a brand new card that needs special tokens, and they forget to program the special tokens, and we have everybody with them at 4-star gold day 1.
Yeah. Well, I'll click that button later then. She'll go 4SG.
Okay, so click the fucking button, Sam.
Yeah, best bet is honestly look where you're at on the MLC. See if you can hit another milestone by doing it during the coin event. Oh, you cleared it? Then hey, just press the button for the sake of pressing a fucking button.
Right, man. That's it.
I got send the picture. I think you're going to do it.
I got Randy. I'll send you a picture in a minute, Flo.
Yeah, throw it in bracket.
I got Randy on Wednesday, I think it was. I won't reach to 4SG. I'm only on about same as Broken, about 1750, I think, something like that. Prize wall, I've been buying Blitz tickets. I've got a bit left. So one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to buy as much TP as I can, because I agree with Broken. I think that's going to be a bottleneck. The 4SG tokens are coming out, because that's what I was really late on, and I managed to get quite a few this month. But I am, because I fucking saw Bob's stupidly insane fucking prop picture of a day, which is fucking ridiculous, by the way.
What?
I'm gonna buy some fucking them show of arts and thingy prop bags, because I need some props, because I saw
we all have 100 already.
Are you fucking joking? I've got about 4 props in my old bag.
Oh, I've got probably about the same amount as Bob.
It's fucking stupid. That's why I'm going to buy some props.
You only have 4 props.
Because unlike us, he uses them.
I use them.
Thousands of props.
Yeah, but I don't use that.
You collect them like they're going out of fashion.
Welcome, Ben. How are you? Well, welcome to the podcast, Ben. How's it going, buddy?
I've been here for a while, and I've heard it, and I was even going to comment when Broken said about feuding, because that was probably one of the funniest nights I've ever had on voice with everyone. When, like, Gina was just getting left to the side while Broken decided to feud. But it's like, Sam, ignore Broken and Bob when it comes to having resources, because they hoard things like they're going out of fashion. Like a zombie apocalypse is literally going to take over the game.
Hold on. First of all, we've already had several zombie apocalypses. That's first of all. Second of all, they are going out of style. They are going out of style. We've been talking about it.
On this game, and that's all Broken and Bob
can't get anymore.
Hold on.
As I was saying, the prize wall, I'm going to buy that, and then the month obviously I've just said I've maxed. I actually managed. The reason I'm going to take SP Lacey up, because she'd be my best SP by a mile. I did, as previously mentioned on the 2 weeks ago, I did get Sasha, but I haven't got a gear. That's why Lacey's going high. That's why I've took Lacey high. Right. If I got Sasha's gear, I would just fly Sasha to the moon.
Yeah,
but I haven't got a gear.
So and
I haven't got a gear.
It's free tokens for Lacey, so that makes sense.
So my actual plan was, before you lot started berating the Polas, was to take Lacey 5B.
So, just for everybody to be aware, because everybody's giving me shit, that's the photo that I posted in Merrick's server, which was the low end of my props. And that's what everybody was getting all up in a fuss about. So, for anybody that's listening to this on YouTube,
are worth a lot. You can't just spend them willy-nilly.
right. For anybody that's on YouTube listening to this afterwards, feel free to join the Community Lounge server and check out the live chat. You'll definitely see it in there.
For context, after looking at the photo, Sam is 100% right.
Oh,
I didn't actually.
I'm just
understand
gonna,
what Sam even said.
I'm just gonna do something for you guys here, right? And then I'll post it.
All
My
right.
highest prop is 9.
9. I ain't got nowhere near 9.
9. Yeah, that's it. 9.
Sam doesn't even have 9 different. Actually, no, because if he's anything like me, he's going to be close to 1,000 on the cheap little, not the power positivity so much, but the shield and the power gem one.
I don't have a.
Oh no, I used them in one feud for Sasha Banks, just because it was hilarious. Just throw 5 of them down, hit a finisher, and no one kicked out, regardless of how much health he had.
All right. Well, before we move on, I'll talk about my month super duper quick because we've already gone through like a bunch of things and we've hopped around. I got my Lacey up to 4 silver. I'm debating taking her to 4 gold, but black TP is kind of like my stranglehold at this point. I have the tokens, so that's not a concern. And I know that she does get better at 5-star, but I don't really know if I want to take Lacey up to 5-star. The flip side is, like we were just talking about, I opened up like 34 something 5-star gold tokens. I have more than enough fiend masks to take up an extra showboat if I want to. And if it's already a free character who's going to be able to heal themselves, and it also fills a Lacey requirement, I'm inclined to do that. And I know that she gets better at 5, so it's like it's a debate. I haven't decided yet on how I'm going to do it. I'm probably going to try and farm out some black TP over this last couple of days before it's all wrapped up, and see if I do want to click the button or not. The coin isn't really a concern of mine at this point. It's just the TP, kind of like Broken was alluding to before. Orton at 3-star bronze got like 1,700-ish shards. If I did do all the coin events, I would have got them, I guess. I don't know. But I'm fine with him at 3 bronze, like I was saying. I kind of gave my rundown on him before. I'll take him up if I want to, and I'll turn him into a project if I really need to. I don't really think he needs to star fill all that much when his damage comes from huge power gems, and the new move damage medal update. Just got him a flat red move damage medal. Pretty solid with 2 1MP moves. You can knock out 100k damage just turn 1 without having to worry about anything else cascading. Prize wall was pretty silly this month. It's never really big for me anymore. I just go for the coin and mainly the TP now. The blitz tickets I thankfully don't really concern myself with. I know a lot of people have, and I've kind of had a lot saved up from before, but I've also, bought a good chunk of offers along the way which come with a shit ton of blitz tickets, so I don't really end up concerning myself with that. So I still have a decent amount heading into next month. And that was pretty much it. Maxed out the MLC. Pretty chill month. Like I was saying before, it wasn't the most amazing month with all the events throughout it, but the ending is always that. It's always that Macho Man size elbow drop of here it is, guys, here it is. Kind of like Broken was saying, they have to make sure everybody is satisfied to a certain extent. They can't just have like 20 or 30 people getting the card. So it was a good month if you look at it as a whole. But if you look at it as like an individual week-on-week basis, which you'll see is a similar theme with most monthly contests, it sucked for the majority of them, and there was one decently good one. Outside of that, that was pretty much my outlook on the monthly. Is there anything else anyone wants to talk about the monthly before we move on to what people have for talent up plans? We're also going to talk
I'm just-
about 5-star
Has
singles
anyone
also.
brought about the Hall of Fame bags to you, Bob?
No, no.
Oh yeah, that's
Got to give
a
him a
good
lot of
point.
credit for that. Giving away pretty
I
much, well, not so much giving away the character because a lot of people fell short, but a lot of people gained 2 Hall of Fame characters that month and doing stuff what they're doing now as obviously giving a free Ray, then obviously the Eddie Guerrero and Brie Bella, and giving away Nikki. Actually, to be fair, it's like doing stuff like that on the communities front is actually beneficial for a lot of people.
Now that they're finally
You
updating
should
the
do
monthly
that.
calendar, yeah, I would agree with you. That as a whole has been a great thing. It's been a great plus. Flip side
It
is,
furthers the
I-
shift to monetizing resources as opposed to characters.
flip side is I'll be real with you, Vin. The reason I didn't put it on there is because I'm so numb from this month and getting tagged every single day that there's an Eddie Guerrero bag that comes out. Hey, Bob, look, I got Eddie Guerrero. Is he any good? Yes.
I mean,
Yes,
in
he is good.
fairness, you did that to yourself.
I did it because I wanted him.
No, you did it because you wanted him, and you made it so publicly known how much you wanted him that you brought it upon yourself. Love you, man, but you kind of did it to yourself.
Really, really wanted him. I'm not getting him anytime soon.
Right.
But yes,
I'm just gonna.
the calendar things that they're doing are par none some of the best things that they've done
Agreed.
in a while.
But even if you look at this month, it's like, you're getting what? Best part of 2,000 in-game cash for nothing, for just logging in every single day, as well as getting TP, shards, and potentially, is Drew McIntyre 1,600 or a 1,200 shard recruitment?
I think
He's 16.
Oh, is he? So, you're pretty much going to guarantee yourself Johnny Gargano unless you get really unlucky.
Not if you didn't have any shards going in. If you didn't have any shards going in, the minimum that you're gonna get is probably around. When I did the math, I think it was like 700 or something.
Oh, is it?
So yeah,
However
But
many
like, when he
bags,
first come out,
however many bags
a lot
there
of
are,
people-
just add a 0 on the end of that, and that's how many shards you'll get.
Yeah, I got 10 this morning.
yeah, I would say when he first come out, there was up to 300 shards. So if you've been playing the game for about 2 years, there is a very high chance you're going to get the 1,200 shard you need.
for Gargano, who released a year
Yes.
ago,
Yeah,
released, I believe actually 6 months ago is when he released, and his
Was that what it
shards
was?
his shards haven't been that common because the event that they did to originally get him was behind a whole bunch of paywalls, and there was no shards. It was just his card.
I've only got 75.
But say I got like I had 250 shards of him, and I don't know where it came from. I didn't spend on Gargano. That much I do know. So mine was just through characters I had.
Yeah, I mean, look at Southside Envy, 45 Gargano shards.
Yeah.
So
There are a few loots throughout this year where Gargano shards were really hitting.
sure, that's for people spending. Not everybody's
Right.
spending, and not everybody was lucky enough, even if they did spend, to hit those things. So
That's why
I'm not disagreeing
I'm finally getting him this month.
because people will pull him that otherwise wouldn't have gotten him as a 3-star bronze, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So
I've hit him twice.
I still think it's great. I just wouldn't go around throwing the preface that a lot of people are going to get him.
Yeah. One thing I do like about is what they've done, and I hope they carry on the trend, was when it comes to the Flash feud, how they give away 100 shards of a couple of characters that are actually worthwhile, like 1-2-3 Kid, and also that MUOT Triple H. There were 100 shards that a lot of people could have done with on the Triple H front and maybe put them over to get the 4-star gold, but also the 100 shards of the 1-2-3 Kid, which is essentially a top tier character. I do feel if they've done stuff like that quite frequently, I think that'll go down well with the community because like the prizes are just trash. Even being in like the top faction, finishing first, 1.2 million coins over say each. Okay, fair enough. It was 5 feuds, but still that many hours for only 6 million coins.
I mean, sure, but take the 1-2-3 Kid event for example. I maxed the solo. Was there a faction portion to it?
I can't remember. I don't think so.
Anyways, I maxed everything pertaining to the 1-2-3 kid, and I still ended up with 950 out of 2,000 shards.
Yeah.
So
I finished with 800, and I didn't get the last milestone because I got screwed over with the
Showdown.
getting the showdown.
Yeah.
Event
Nope.
got nowhere close as well.
Yeah, so those shard event things, that's completely RNG. I mean, Keith Lee, I had to spend an arm and a leg to get him because I did not have 4 of the females, but one of the bags I pulled the max out of the bag. That was what decided me going for Keith Lee and actually being able to get him. It's RNG. It's a bitch.
Yeah, because I started on track for Brie and for Eddie at the start of the month, and then it just petered out and died down, and I got 40 out of the last 3 bags for Eddie, and I just thought, what the fuck? And on Brie, I think I end up averaging around 11 shards per bag towards the last 10 days. So that sort of irritated me a little bit. The fact that it sort of built me up thinking I was going to get 2 characters to then just crashing down for reality of, hey, this is Scopely. We like to fuck you over.
I ended up with 1,400 for Bree and 650 for Eddie.
I got 1820 for Bree and just short of 1,300 for Eddie, I think.
That's actually quite impressive, to be fair, Sam.
Yeah, I have 500 for Eddie, including the 200 I had purchased prior to, and I got, I think, 1,400 for Bree. So my RNG was shit with these bags.
Yeah, RNG is it's never fun. Needless to say, I'm not happy.
Again, you can't really say much about your RNG on this game, too, Bob.
Ben, I don't want to talk about my RNG in this game.
What? Because you're blessed?
Blessed my ass. I spend a lot in order to get things, and then get nothing a lot of the times.
Yeah,
Says
but think
the
about
guy
all
who's
those.
6 heads ahead of me.
I'm sorry.
Says, yeah, exactly.
I being Bob's accountant, I can actually state that he is not lucky at all. He's probably the least lucky here. So there's that.
No, I've got that down to see out of me and see, Bob.
So, talking about the rest of the month. Anybody else before we move on? Because we have a lot to talk about still. Anybody else want to talk about the monthly? Going once, going twice.
Hey, any chance there's another 130 shards of Randy Orton left in the last 3 days?
I don't.
Yeah, if you're willing to buy them off the portal and everything. So
probably for sale.
Because that's what I need to get 4-star gold.
I honestly doubt it. To be honest with you, I think there's going to be one more coin Evo tomorrow, but that's what 30 shards.
Maybe 30 shards tops, won't it?
I think it's 48, isn't it? Isn't it 16, 16, 16?
I don't know. The last milestone I thought was more, but
anyway.
No, they're all the same.
Even let's say it's 50 and be generous about it. It's still not 130.
Correct.
No.
So, moving up. Next month, what's your plans for Talent Up? Who you got going? Let's say that you need 3 5-stars again, like we did this past Talent Up. Who you got set up for it?
Well, if we're going 3 5-stars, mine will be Motul Triple H, Vader, and Stone Cold Powerhouse Zombie. But I'm hoping to do Motul Triple H, Vader, and I'm gonna. Well, you've just scuppered one of them because Lacey was going 4G, but as you can see on the thing, I've just pushed the button. She's 4G already now.
Sam, why are you taking Vader?
Because it's somewhat different than, you know what I mean? He was my go-to guy for. He was my go-to guy for a long time, and I've just owe him it. So he's going 5. He's going 5S. Powerhouse China's going to go 4B because I finally got our tokens over there. and Tech Cena is going 4SS. That's my talent up.
All right. Can dig it. Anybody else on their plans?
Well, I've got Ray ready to rock and roll. He's literally done now. Just for shits and giggles, I'm probably going to take Duggan just because he's the next available one. Or, yeah.
And you asked me, and did you just ask me about Vader?
Yeah, but Sam, the difference being is my roster's the fuck. Like my roster's jack, and me taking up another showboat with the 5 showboats, 5-star silvers, like bronze. Sorry, I've already got. It makes no odds taking another showboat because I can still take another 4, and it's just the fact of it's maxed the talent up. So depending on what's on offer, because I've got Andre and I've got Duggan, and I've got to find some use out of Duggan because he's fucking shit. He's the worst showboat I've used at 4 gold.
Oh, then those are the 2 that you
Pick
have.
your upgrades.
Is
Those are
Andre
So,
and Duggan.
anyways,
different.
onwards to like non. Well, I can't even say that because mine's questionable at best.
I'm basically trying to get enough TP now for Keith Lee. I've got to get another 500 green and 500 blue, and then Keith Lee can go to essentially 5-star, which is when he finally becomes amazing. So I've got Ray, Keith Lee, and potentially Duggan, depending if it needs to max the talent event. If it don't need to max it, Duggan is not going up. If it do need to max it, Duggan can go up. Because, like I say, it's another person just waiting to go.
Vin, Duggan, but you have Andre ready also.
No, so Andre's level 160, just max moves. Duggan is level 175, max moves. Outside of that, I've got Harlem Heat, who's level 120, so max moves, and like 26,000 shards of him. So,
yeah, Harlem Heat's your better bet with that belt.
I know Harlem Heat is a bet.
You don't have
it's
the
just the
fucking
fact of how much coins.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So, the fact of, like, I can do 5 levels of Duggan, no levels of Ray, and the 20 levels that I want to do on someone is going to be Keith Lee. So, I'd rather put the coins into Keith Lee than...
In all fairness, to attest to what you're talking about, we've all made questionable evolves
But
for
you
the sake of finishing an event.
But you're going into it knowing ahead of time. This isn't like you don't know. You're not like, I wonder if this is a good
Yeah, no. I get that.
You're willingly, like, stepping in the poop. Like, you're
Yes.
willingly doing this.
I've done it.
Oh.
Who are you taking up?
Why is this?
I mean, in all fairness,
I
do have a 4-star gold trickster Daniel Bryan.
Yeah,
so
he's actually good. He actually looks good at 5-star.
He actually is. So, anyways, my talent up's gonna consist of Tech Becky. She'll be my first female going to 5-star because I've been really slacking, and with every fucking tour and their mother requiring a female Tech
or Becky.
Becky, I figured that she's probably one of the best bets, and then I'll work on Striker China or Zombie Asuka next. I got Zombie Roman Reigns going to 5-star. He's literally been ready since the last talent up. And Motu Triple H, I have to dump a little TP and coin into him, but he's going to be my next to go up. And then I'm actually highly debating throwing the APA plate on Luke Harper. And going with that.
Not a bad spot at all. I know we were talking about where you wanted to put the bad attitude plate. Tried to come up with a list of spots.
Who's the person questionable to go up broken?
What's that?
Who was the person that's like questionable to go up? Because I've not actually heard you say the name.
Oh, no. I'm just saying I've got a 5-star Drew McIntyre, so...
And that's your issue. Drew McIntyre's great on this game.
I was going to say Vin loves his 5-star Drew McIntyre. You're talking to the wrong guy right here.
I'm not saying he's bad, but I also have other powerhouses, your Hogan, your Keith Lee, and all them other ones, so...
I would happily take Drew McIntyre over Hogan. The only powerhouses I would put over
Mute this motherfucker.
I'm
Just mute this motherfucker, please. Just shut him the fuck up.
You have a game. You face my Drew McIntyre. You play with my Drew McIntyre. I guarantee you not. I shit you. He does more damage than Hogan, hands down. The only person that does more damage than my Drew McIntyre is Keith Lee and Powerhouse Macho. Are the only two powerhouses on this game.
Wait, wrong.
Okay.
Zombie Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, he's good. I was gonna say
Okay.
Zombie Daniel.
Send me
Bryan's
the
gonna be the next
setup. I'll try it out. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. But I'm telling you right now that to sleep on Hogan is you're fucking stupid. I was gonna leave him at 9K just for his coach because I have Keith Lee. But I was like, yeah, that'd be fucking retarded. So right to the moon he went.
I mean, they
Yeah,
always
well, I see. I
they
don't
make
have
it a
Hogan.
requirement for
Daniel
everything.
Bryan. The difference being is, I know for a fact, don't get me wrong, Drew McIntyre was good, right? But this new medal for this double red setup makes him phenomenal. And in feuds, Drew McIntyre is an absolute beast. If you've got Kairi Sane, right? Turn one, you're literally putting your two red moves and your blue moves. Turn one, I use his bleed. So what I do is, it's 2 turns for 24%. But what I need to do is when I go onto the match, in my 9 area, I need to hit 2 blue gems and 2 red gems, and I get the finisher, the bleed move off twice, and his red move, all in the same turn. With the fact of now I've got 133% plate on him, or sorry, medal on him. His finisher and his red move are doing in the regions of 200, 300k. Turn one,
Like
I'm
I
knocking
said,
at 700k majority of the time.
send me a setup and I'll try him out.
I would gladly. I'll let you go on my account and you can have a look.
Okay, just send me his fucking setup.
Honestly, go and fucking play with mine, Drew. I guarantee you change your mind.
All right, like I said, just send it to me and I will try it out.
Like I say, Stardust is more to wind you up, so I just think Stardust is hilarious. Making him 5-star, I don't regret for 1 second because of how triggered you got. But on this extent, Drew McIntyre, you don't want to sleep on Drew McIntyre. Stardust, yeah, that was just a fucking pants.
Yeah, just send me the setup with the trainers, and if you want to send me the belt too, go ahead.
Broken, did you get the setup yet?
No, I didn't. I'm waiting for it still.
Just post it in the chat.
Just go on my account. You've got.
I don't have your account information anymore.
Well, then that's your fault. Then I'll send them you.
Thank you.
Oh god! All right. Anybody else for their
my
talent
turn?
up plans? For the love of God!
I'm not sure. I'm scared to speak right now. I feel a little hostility.
I'll go next.
Good.
So I have I'm trying to debate between Lana, Powerhouse China, and Sasha. They're all ready to go, but with some of the issues with fuses being eaten during shard recruits, I have a few other moves that I think I'm going to make, and then I think I'm going to burn all my fuses for posters just to make sure that I actually get to use them.
If you're gonna do that, I would honestly wait, and we can bring it up to the devs and everything, because a lot of people have the problem with Aleister Black. A lot of people are having the problem with it's more when they get enough shards to recruit. They can't recruit them for some reason. But the fuses, as far as I knew, worked. I would honestly just, if you're gonna burn them all up, just burn them all up during an event that actually gives you something. Talent Up gives nothing for fuses.
Well, the fuses
Literally
work,
nothing.
and if you fuse a character after you've already recruited them, it doesn't seem to have the problem.
Correct.
But if you shard recruit somebody, we have seen it eat posters for other people that were not that person, and then it takes weeks, if you're lucky, to even get any of them back. So, and I'm sitting on a ton of them, so I would rather use them and get the guarantee than have the possibility of them being eaten and get nothing.
I don't see how that's possible. Not saying that people are liars, but I'm saying people.
No, I've seen that happen to me before too, Broken.
Where, like, if you have a Duggan fuse and you upgrade Piper, all of a sudden your Duggan fuse leaves?
No, that's not what she's saying at all.
No, if you go to shard recruit a person,
Okay.
then you recruit them, and then you end up with way more shards than what you had for that person still left over. And the number of shards that you now have, you are now missing those number of
Okay,
posters
so
out of so it's eating your fuses for other people
that's what I'm
and
saying.
then giving you
So
shards for that person. So it's completely
yeah, I've
unrelated. I
never
don't even know
yeah
how
I've
it happens.
yeah I have no idea how that's even a thought.
I've seen it
We
happen to more
yeah.
than one person.
No, I'm not saying, like I said, I'm not calling people liars, but that's something that you need video to show the company, because trying to explain that to somebody who knows what they're talking about is confusing. You try telling that to them, and you might as well just beat your head against the wall, because you're going to get that same result anyways.
Right.
He eventually got his fuses back, the person that we seen it happen to. But literally, what happened in character specifics is he got enough people to recruit Tech AB. He recruited him, and after he recruited him, he had a shit ton of shards for him. And he's like, what the hell is this? So he went and looked, and his DX Road Dog fuse, which I believe was 3-star gold, I want to say, and his 4-star APA Farouk fuse was gone, and those shards all turned into Tech AB shards.
Well, I wouldn't really complain about the Road Dog fuse going missing, to be honest with you. I'd take those the tech Alistair
You
Black
only had
shards.
a 2-star APA Farouk though, so
Yeah,
that
that's a
4-star
Yeah, no,
fuse
that
for
one,
him
yeah.
was big.
Yeah, that's a big one.
That's a killer.
But like I said, I've never seen it, and I've never even heard of it. And as far as the code goes, I don't even see how that's feasibly possible. However, stranger things have happened. So
Subject
if
to
you
change
can,
Scopely.
yeah, subject to change the card into other people's cards. He wouldn't have complained if it turned into 2,000 Hogan
I was
shards.
gonna say 2,000 Trickster Hogan shards. You just shut the fuck up.
But I'm just saying, I get what you're saying. If anybody can get video of that, that would be appreciated.
So, Flo, before I kind of ask everyone else, I'm kind of interested in the Daniel Bryan you have set up. How are you running him? Are you running him with armor, or are you running him with Fury?
He has one of each. My red super metal is armor, so it's not even maxed out yet. But that right there is also with 35% coming off John Cena, which I'd usually run steel.
I was gonna say, what trainers are you using? You're stealing who?
It's Batista, Steel, Batista, and Gooker.
Stupid
And that's
question.
all.
If you skipped Batista, went honky tonk man, kept Gooker, do you think it'd be smart to run him with double armor in that setup? With the amount of armor you'd be
It's
tossing
kicking out as is, so when I get to the scenario where I need to figure it out, yeah, right now I haven't had the choice. I mean, it's something I could definitely consider in there. Just going all armor.
Right? Like that's what.
But I think I've had
90.
one person, one super cascading beefed up earthquake kick out of his finisher since I turned him 5-star. And now with this metal, I'm not. I think that was even pre-metal. Now with the metal, it's just completely ridiculous. So
Yeah,
that
but
is
with 5-star
definitely.
silver being a thing, that's why I'm interested.
Well, I got Roman for that. Just ask Ed.
Yeah, but I'm interested in this because even though
Yeah.
I have Roman too, I also have Daniel Bryan also, and I'd like to debate on what type of powerhouse I want to actually move up, and if he's tossing this
And
much base
without a doubt,
damage out,
it's going to be him, and it's going to be Z Roman. My
that's my
2020
mentality. If he's
Roman
tossing,
team
if he's tossing
is
that much base damage out, it's going to be a viable type of moveset to use. And if you can have 90% armor behind 400,000 base damage, as well
you're going to
as,
get
like,
almost 100K off the second red move too,
I was
and
gonna
that's
say,
not
like,
including the damage from the green.
without
Yeah,
the board. That's just
Mhm.
base without the board. It's like you're
Yes.
talking about 500k damage, give or take. Like on the low end of fighting somebody with their own armor set, but you have 90% armor. That'd be pretty solid. I could see that.
yeah. He
being
usually
very
kicks
solid
about
for-
200, 250K blowing up the board. That's on top of that, so it's absolutely ridiculous right now.
Okay.
That's why I had to butt in when we had the argument with the powerhouses there from Vin.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm I'm interested in
My-
looking him up soon.
My talent up next month. But yeah, definitely it's gonna be him and Roman 5-star silver when I start thinking about that.
Yeah.
My talent up is kind of weird because originally I was like, all right, I got Lee, I got Gooker, they have to go. I got them up and I got them up extremely early. I originally wanted to work on women. So I was like, I definitely need to get that because I only had Mela. So I started working Sane, got Sane up. I got Sasha up and I got Becky up. So right now I have the choice of who goes and who stays.
Right.
So right now I have the choice of Lee, Gooker, Austin, Sasha, Becky, Sane.
Okay.
Have you got the gear for Becky and Banks?
I have the gear for everybody. Yes.
Okay.
You don't have the gear for Gooker though.
No, I don't have the gear for Gooker. No, I do not. I wish I did, but even without the gear, see it's going to be tough. I don't want to sit Lee down, but with having Daniel Bryan, that kind of eliminates the need for Lee. I also already
Yeah,
have
no,
Logan
I
5-star
would
as
still
well.
do Lee.
So
Lee's that nice turn one, no matter what.
yeah, I have my Gooker turn skip, and he's going to be stealing over 150k of health every single turn. So it's kind of like Gooker kind of has to go, and then it's like, all right, well, I have plans for Orton, and then it's like, do I really sit my 3 women in the corner? Because I kind of want to. I might throw Sasha in as well, although I had contemplation about that as well because I have Mela and I don't want both of my things relying on submissions. Where Becky is just hit power, and of course everybody knows Sane's got her big boom. I eventually want to work DX China up as well. I need some back-to-back talent.
Sasha's not really submission though.
What do you mean?
She's like Sasha's a lot of his protect gems, so you don't really rely on her submission. It's basically you've got a turn 1 sub that people, fair enough, we will break, but it's very hard for Sasha to kick out, like for people to kick out of Sasha's moves when she goes 5-star. I turn 1 a lot of people with my Sasha Banks.
The issue then is that people have the escape artist plate.
Yeah, that's my
that
worry.
is that's one downside. But all you do is you just don't face them with that fucking plate. But then because it's also 5 turns. But see, one positive I've found with Sasha, even with people with that escape plate, as long as you don't have the perk that gives you more submissions, you're not too bad, because a lot of people have the minus submission turn coaches on them. So basically, Sasha starts off as 5. Now, when it comes to then reducing that, it's down to 3. So there's many a times the escape artist plate hasn't actually gone off and hasn't stopped my Sasha from actually getting the submission. But sometimes it has, and it's been a pain in the arse. That's more when I'm facing Mela. But I just don't really face Mela with my Sasha Banks. And then other times from that, what I do is I'll take in my prop for the shield, and I'll just throw a load of the tech gems down. I will then put my own green move and booster up, leave the protect gems on the board, get the green move again, refill that, and then instead of hitting the submission where they might kick out, I'll just hit the finisher, and they don't kick out because the protect gems are so powerful, and there's so many on the board. The damage is just ridiculous.
I'm not arguing that. She's a very solid. She's a very solid card, but like
even in feud, yeah, it's like I don't struggle ever really using Sasha, and it's very rare. I think she's died twice since she's been 5-star, and she's been 5-star for me now for a long time. When I took Wendy up, I took Sasha up. So whenever that fucking feud, like whenever that came into about.
Anybody else on talent up and their plans?
I'm planning to take Z Roman and Uno Dos Trace, and I'll probably take Lacey up just for cable.
Taking up 3 showboats?
Yeah.
Taking up 3 showboats. That's a lot of yellow TP, Bear.
It's all right. I got it. Or I have shards. One or the other will cover it. I mean, I have a. Actually, I'll probably take up Texina. Or Trixina. Sorry. Trixina.
Zombie?
Yep.
He's a good one. Where is he at for you?
Maxed at 4-star gold.
Oh, so he's just a button click. Okay.
Yeah,
Ready for 6 months.
Yeah. I think I have 13 button clicks to go
That's a lot.
if I wanted to.
That is a lot. So you're sitting in between the which buttons to click phase.
Yeah, I mean, I know for sure it'll be Uno Dos Tres and Z Roman.
I know you like 1, 2, 3, and you're gonna have to tell me who you like more, 1, 2, 3, or Roman when you take them both 5.
Roman wins the war because of the kick out move.
I love how you didn't even think about, let me take one and then I'll see if I like them, then I'll take the other. You're just like, no, let me take both.
Just
Once
going all in.
Once I take both, then I'll decide which one I like more at 5-star.
That's right.
Well,
Sometimes
that's how you decide who you want to take silver.
Yeah, at this rate, yeah, but like, God, how many diamond tokens does anybody have? Don't you need 9 of them? What's the most of one class of diamond token that you guys have right now?
3
Akron.
pack.
What's a diamond token, Bob?
It's the 5-star silver tokens, Vin.
Oh, my lowest is 20.
No, it's the 5-star silver tokens. The ones
You
that
put
you
up
have
in-
to.
Diamond
Right,
tokens.
right.
Oh, right, okay, yeah. I think my highest is 3.
Okay.
Yeah,
Anybody else?
I got 3 for tech.
Anybody else that's over 3?
let me look.
I have 4 Akron.
You have 4
Yay.
acro. Okay.
Yeah, kill me.
Bro.
Those are like the Kurt Angle flags, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's my point. No one's prepping for 5 silver just yet. Like, it'll be coming
So,
soon.
Ed and Little Dynasty in our faction, they opened every single one that was in there, and they said they only averaged 5. So
Okay.
when the bag got dropped, and I don't know how much in-game tax he spent, but they said that they only got something like 5 tokens.
That sounds about right. That's my point. So those evos aren't happening anytime soon. Or those enhancements, I should say. But yeah, I mean, yes, you can prep, but I'm so far away of going for 5-star silver. So I'm not doing that whole, let me take these cards to 5 bronze and see which I like first. I have the 5 gold tokens for it, don't get me wrong, but I don't have the coin and TP for it.
Just to aggravate Broken, I might push Killian Dane to 5-star
Oof,
over Zombie Daniel Bryan.
oof.
You should do
I
that.
mean, have you seen his move damage at 5-star? It's fucking pathetic.
I'll talk about my own my 5-stars that I have ready to go. I'm taking Sasha up, and I think I'm gonna take Earthquake up. I also have Gooker ready and Carmelo ready. And then I also have Bailey, who's ready from 4 silver to 4 gold. So I'm taking up Bailey because I really want to move her to 5-star. I'm taking up Sasha because I really need a female at 5-star. And then it's like a toss-up between Earthquake, Mela, and Gooker. And I know that people are yelling at me to take Gooker, but like, I've had Earthquake there for
It's
so
a
long.
lot of fun at 5-star.
Like, I've had Earthquake there for so long and just haven't taken him, and I don't know. I feel like that's just, I don't know. I have his strap fully unlocked. I have like his skill plates on him. He's fully decked
He
out
already
already.
has Eddie, which is the only reason that I could possibly say not to go Gooker.
So I mean,
See, it's like, your video convinced me to go for Earthquake too, Bob, and I've been struggling to get him up ever since. And he's like literally at 120, but I've finally maxed all his moves. So now it's the case of coin and then his levels.
the old video that I showed you that I farmed with him.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's the percent sign, man. That's the best way to run him. I just need the 7th blast gem, which either means Ray to 9k, which I'm not rushing on any situation for that, or it means Earthquake to 5-star. And when he goes 5, it's much smoother. The flip side is Gooker. I spoke to Cable, and he showed me a really solid way of somebody running him, and I wanted somebody to run him that way on the preview, but nobody did. And it's really viable. It's tricolor with the 2x2 wildcard, the 2x2 countdown, and the 1 MP countdown reduction. And you lay down the wildcards on turn 1, and you lay down the countdowns on turn 1. You lower the countdowns to 2 turns, and you go for a black swipe. And somebody like Flo, who has an extra turn belt, he can proc it and still have his own turn. Unfortunately, I don't. I would have to give up 1 turn and it'd be turn 2 for me. But you go for a black swipe, you lay out another set of wildcard gems, and you reduce the countdowns. You lay out 36 blue gems on the board. It blows up 8 wildcards, which generate, 8 trap gems, which generate 2 wildcards a pop, which is 16 wildcards, and he does a shit ton of damage. So that was how I was thinking about running him too, instead of just the 1 MP health steal. But I don't know who I really want to take up for talent up. I know I want Sasha, I know I want Bailey. Can't decide between Mela to 5, Gooker to 5, and Earthquake to 5. Outside of that, the one other thing that I am doing, which I think is worth mentioning, and people are probably going to hate me for it. Well, initially think I'm stupid for it, and then once I explain, hate me for it. I'm taking Honky Tonk Man to 4-star bronze.
I think that's the best thing you can do.
And most of you probably think that's one of the stupidest things in the world. The flip side is, I pulled an affiliation strap for a Legends Trickster, but it's a legendary strap which has to be a 4-star card, not a 3-star card. So I'm taking Honky Tonk to 4-star bronze so I can use an affiliation strap on him.
I mean, why wouldn't you put him at 4-star anyway for the 30%?
What do you mean?
Well, isn't that when he gets... You said Honky Tonk, right?
Yeah, he gets 30% at 5k.
Because to use a legendary affiliation strap, he needs to be 4-star.
No, I get that. I just took mine 4-star because I thought that's where his percentage was.
Nope, it's...
Why the fuck did I take him 4?
It's
I don't know why I took mine 4-star then.
Yep, it's
Yeah.
5k.
Well, mine's been 4-star bronze for fucking ages, see, Bob.
So the other thing is, payroll, to address that, I'm going to eventually take both Lawler and Steele, because I'm assuming there's going to be a point where I can hopefully get some decent amount of more strap bits and can just move that strap around. And I have enough shards of both Lawler and Steele to where it will be 0 TP for me to move them up. It will literally just be coins and tokens. And with the amount of times that they are offered at 3-star and potentially 4-star, I'm assuming that eventually I will just end up getting a 4-star fuse up for one of them. And just do it that way also.
Or another affiliation strap.
Potentially. I did just, while we were doing the recording, I did pull another affiliation strap from the swag store. It was for a female today though, however, not a male. It is an Acrobat female affiliation strap.
Where are you getting these straps from?
From the swag store, the faction store. So
Right.
while there is currently no Acrobat female that is an Attitude Era card, I'm looking forward to saving that one, because you never know what they're going to release. So I'll take it as a win for now. Potential win.
Is this in the 1500?
No, it's 100,000.
bit?
Vin, it's 100,000.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know, but on the bottom row where you get the gear pulls, that
Yes, sir.
is it that one?
Yep. The 100,000 right there.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, where it has like Charlotte gear, and then the one in the middle, and then finger gear.
Yes, the one in the middle for 100,000 is the strap.
Okay.
Broken can send you a screenshot when you send them your setup.
I'm not saying Broken's just gonna go on my account. It's easier.
Yeah, see, payroll. I'll eventually take Lawler and Steele. I'm expecting to get a fuse up of them inevitably. I think I have both of them at 3 gold already, so it's just coin and tokens, but I don't really want to have to do that just yet. Honky Tonk definitely feels like a more viable choice for me, especially for male-female showdown where I have Sako Sasha as the team. Having Honky Tonk Man on both of them for a showdown team on defense would be very preferred.
Yeah, I have an Epic Legend affiliation strap for Tricksters, and I already have one specifically for Lawler. So it's kind of like a Steel or Honky Tonk Man sort of thing. And I haven't put it on either of them yet, even though I do move Honky Tonk around. But I'm waiting to see if there's going to be a month where I absolutely need Steel on somebody, otherwise he just lives on Keith Lee. So if I come down to the point where I need a second use for Lawler, I'll put it on him. Otherwise, yes, it goes on Honky Tonk Man. So I agree.
I need one for Steel then, because my Steel lives on Striker Austin. And now I'm taking Keith Lee up. I know for a fact it's going to be a difficult one, because I'm going to end up moving Keith Lee. Like I said, Keith Lee, I'm going to be moving Steel around a lot.
Yeah, you will. So you're gonna need one for him too.
Anybody else on talent ups? Plans? Going once, going twice. All right. 5-star silver came out. We've been talking about it for a little while. They just kind of dumped it on us. The tokens are out. I guess they already have a couple 5-star silver Hall of Fame cards out there because it's just the same 5-star Hall of Fame tokens they had from before. So a couple people took their Hall of Fame cards all the way up to 5 silver. The huge jump is the health. The health, instead of it being
doubles.
instead of it being like a couple 100,000 or anything, I think the base health is like 1.5, 1.6 million health at 5-star silver.
That's where you need Keith Lee now.
So
yeah, have you faced the Fiend on the Royal Rumble tour yet with his 2 million health?
yes.
It doesn't matter because since he's a showboat, when you do 1,000,000 damage, I don't really see Fiend doing a million damage to kick out.
No, but the difference being is you're restricted to who you can use.
Correct.
Oh, okay. Of
It's
course.
a different meta,
So, yeah, and then Steamboat, the Dragon, the Acro version, you can only use a Showboat as well versus him. So I've got Slick Rick at 5-star bronze, and he struggled.
I mean, yeah, anybody's gonna struggle against Dragon. Dragon's good. It's just how
That's
he
where you need
goes.
Roman. Zombie Roman.
It's just, yeah, he was there for a long time, and I mean, I subbed him God knows how many times. I used his black and purple move, don't know how many times. I was doing 300k damage against his double armor, and he was just kicking out for fun. He never hit me for any move damage because I kept on subbing him, and he set up with the 3 blues. But yeah, he was pretty nasty bringing that health down, and so was the Fiend.
So yeah, they
Ken Shamrock at 4 silver, 5 silver as well is nasty.
so they came out with 5 silver cards. Lots of health, needless to say. Along with 5 silver cards, they came out with the Royal Rumble Tour 5. They said 6 is going to come out sometime in January or February. I forget which month, but one or the other. But 5 is out. And kind of like I was alluding to earlier in the podcast, there are 5-star silver opponents in Royal Rumble Tour 5. And not only do they have 1.6 million health, 2 million health on the Fiend, and limit you to certain characters that you can use, yes, while the first-time rewards are nice, I'm not even going to go as far as to say they're great. They're nice. It's kind of a bitch. Because even if you can try and farm them, like Flo was saying, turn 1 this, turn 1 that, again with only specific cards, they're giving you 1 TP. If anything, shouldn't you be rewarded for having the turn 1 cards that can manage to turn 1 these 2 million health monstrosities? The Titans that we had to fight were 3 million health. Right? Like, I'm not crazy. They were 3 million health Titans. And like this is remotely similar in the sense of, yeah, you have to use your head on how to beat them. This isn't a 3 million health Titus O'Neil. This isn't a 3 million health junkyard dog with no gear. This is a 2 million health fiend. There's a 1.8 million health dragon. These are actual cards. These are real cards that you have to fight.
Fully strapped with optimized metals.
Like it's fully decked out. You need to have the cream of the crop to fight them. And yes, while they gave out some good cards in the sense of Zombie Triple H, and there's Keith Lee's out there for people, and people like using Shawn Michaels, and that's great. And I have my Powerhouse Macho, which I'm thankful for. There's still such a limit on who you can use. And I think when they released this, they didn't realize how much they were going to constrict the meta instead of opening it. It's going to be an issue now with so much health, and even with them trying to upgrade the move damage medals, it's limiting who you can use. Like Flo was talking about, Zombie Daniel Bryan, Zombie Roman, that's great. And then what if you can't use a Showboat or a Powerhouse and they force you to use a Technician? It's like, shit, who do I use for Technician? Tech Cena? And that's the only tech you can use? And what era is Tech Cena? Is it Ruthless Aggression? Right? Let's say they make you use a modern tech or an attitude tech. Who the fuck do you use then? It's just like they'll always find a way to limit you on the requirements. But the end of the game is like it's going to be too much at this point to try and grow this wide. Personally, I think 5 silver was crazy. I think it came out way too early. I have no plans for it whatsoever. Normally when a new rarity comes out, I'll always say, yeah, I want to plan to have one card at the new rarity in each class, and this, that, and the other, and I'll try to get one female up there, and blah, blah, blah. I have zero intentions of doing that right now. The amount of diamond tokens that they're trying to require for it, insane. The amount of money they're trying to charge for it, insane. The Hall of Fame, which is, obviously something that people already did to take their 5-star silver cards up there, the amount of money they're charging for those tokens, insane. It's hitting a point where it's no longer trying to be competitive. It's trying to just be greedy in the amount of money that they're trying to get the tokens, to get the card, one card, to be competitive. And then how many health packs are you going to have to go through if that card loses for whatever reason? And it doesn't just lose, it loses all its health.
Like when the game glitches and your superstar dies all the time.
It's hit a point of they haven't fixed what they needed to fix before spreading their wings out too far, I think, in this case. And they certainly haven't fixed the game economy. They just recently started doing, like we were talking about, these banger of deals, like these amazing blowout deals for holidays and Christmas and this, that, and the other. They limited it to only Christmas, to only a one-time offer, and like we said, we're most likely not seeing that again. And we're only saying if they did it on a monthly basis, that people would sign up for it, because it's not enough to compete. So I just, when it comes down to it, man, I'm not huge on 5 silver. I don't have plans for it. I don't have plans to take up, when I get 9 diamond tokens, I don't have plans to take up whoever's ready to go up in that class. I'm not going to rush another 20 million coins into a 5-star bronze card to get them to 5 silver, or to 5 bronze max to take them 5 silver. The health, while it's nice, I'm not going to lose my fucking sleep over it. And I'm not going to start buying these tokens either. Tokens have almost always fallen into my lap whenever they need to. I don't sit here and worry about purchasing new tokens. And I'm not going to concern myself with, oh, I really, 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 really want Hogan at 5 silver. Like, yeah, it'd be cool, but I'm not going to go crazy over it. And on top of that, the tours that they've released, I think it's a smack in the face to everybody to have to go through 1.4, 1.5, 1.6, 1.8, 2 million health, and you get 1 TP. The trial card that they released, like I was saying before, is a 5 bronze card, and they give you over 10,000 shards to max his moves, and that is to get 1 card at 5 bronze max. And you are putting us up against 5 silver, some 5 silver max cards, as AJ alluded to, fully strapped up and decked out, and our reward for beating them, for farming those nodes, is 1 TP. That's a joke.
The loot's needed reworking for a long time though. Since 5 stars even come into existence, the loot boxes needed to be up considerably. The lowest you should be getting from those loot boxes is at least 10k coins and at least 10 TP. The lowest. That's what they should be doing at least, because you're just there for too long to try and generate a couple 100,000, and you know it's one level. A 5-star takes what, 500k to go from 180 to 181. You know, okay, you're gonna get 1,500 coins in a loot box. Way fucking great. You know, you've only got to get that, you know, a couple of 100,000 times to do anything decent with a level 5-star bronze.
It's not comparable. And if the loot boxes are for the newer players, that's one thing, but like then the first time rewards need to be twice or 3 times as good for the other players.
What new players have
Playing
5-star
Rumble
bronzes?
tours.
That too.
Yeah.
Right? Like who's gonna start playing not even tour 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, but tour 5.
They have league restrictions.
That
They
too.
do. You don't even have access to the Rumble tours.
I don't think that's
Rumble Hell
accurate.
mode, I think, requires 14.
I don't think that's true, because when they originally said that, I knew people that were much lower leagues that still had access to them. I don't
Well,
think they figured out
originally
how
it
to-
was there, and then they took it back, from my understanding.
I just thought you needed to have a certain star level. I didn't think it was the league. I thought it was just like you had to have two 4-stars or.
No. It was supposed to be league, and I don't think they ever figured out how to do it.
Alright, okay. That I didn't know. I just generally thought it was a 4-star requirement for the nodes and not sort of leagues. Like I've always been in like the top league that's been out every time, pretty much. It's only this League 17 I've not got in. That's because I didn't really want to put 4 characters up to 210. I'd rather put the coins into elsewhere just to sort of, you know, bring up other people that you wouldn't normally use.
It's just a killer to me. The fact that when they released 5 bronze, it was one thing, but now that they've gone up to 5 silver, and it's the amount of health these cards have, and the amount of health packs it's going to take, the amount of coins and TP, it's not slowing down, and the fact that there is no reprieve in the sense of how many resources are being rewarded and given out, it's just not going to work. So when it comes out to like my plans for 5 silver, I don't have any. When it comes down to who I'm planning to take up, I don't have any plans on taking anyone specific up. Maybe I'll start working people up based on how I fight against 5-star silver cards. But for the time being, no, I'm not planning on moving anybody past 5 bronze at all. That's where they're going to sit. Maybe their moves, if I want to level up certain moves like Sokka's bleed move or somebody's boost move, but I'm not putting any coin into them or anything else. I'm not rushing that because the resources are too valuable at this point. It's just, it's rough. And the fact that they're only giving out so many resources just sucks. But if you guys have anything else on 5 silver, you know, your own plans, if you have plans, what you think of the tours, obviously I'm not huge on any of this.
The tours are nice for resources. I'm not a fan that the tours are locked behind Hall of Fame male characters. But I mean, other than that, little gripe. We'll deal with 5-star silvers in 6 months when I'm ready to.
Yeah, pretty much my big theory on them is I'm just preparing to defend against them. Not necessarily planning on taking one up. I have picked the 2 if currently I needed to, but yeah, I got my Roman, my Zebrian, and then hopefully they'll be able to knock them out when I can if the requirements aren't too strict.
Anybody else on silvers on the tours? Either one? I know I kinda shat in everybody's cereal there.
Pretty much spot on.
5 says I'm nowhere near. The tours I basically use when I need coin. and I maxed it without having to do it. I hadn't done too many matches on the new tour, so I haven't really looked how far and what you need how far to get really yet. I've only done the first couple on normal and first few on hard, I think, so far. So I haven't really looked at them in massive detail yet.
Going once. Anybody else? Going twice. Sold. All right. Talk about the trial of the month. Our truth. Everybody got our truth. We got a lot of coins. We got an interesting experience of people getting the fucked up recruit on our truth, where I think it took 3,000 shards, but then dissolving the 5-star bronze card only gave 2,400. So you had to sit and wait for your extra set of shards, or the people that tried to recruit him and I think never got him. I think AJ, you fell into that category.
Did.
Yeah, it was an interesting event for the trial, to say the least. What did everybody think of the card first and foremost for the trial? Because everybody got to play him, and then the snowfall type, the gem type, and outside of that, what did you guys think about the actual event? Not the trial, but the R-Truth event afterwards, and all the RNG that came with it.
Happy to see R-Truth finally added to the game.
Very true.
Just because I like R-Truth. And I was also happy to see a pretty cool function of a new gem type added.
Nothing else? You didn't like? What'd you think of Truth?
It was fun to play with. I didn't get to play him that long, because I was one that went to try to recruit him and it black holed him.
Right.
So I did open a ticket and they did resend everything to me, so I was able to actually get to play him a little bit. He was kind of fun, and I think if I was able to snag his shards and actually recruit him, I'd probably work him up just because he's fun.
Okay.
Yeah, that was nice. There's plenty of fun characters. The trial, I mean, it was the same thing. Knocked another notch in the belt for League 17 for me. Covers two coin events, which is awesome. Especially with the Orton shards and all that, and the importance of those going around this time. The snowfall gems are pretty cool. I've talked about with a bunch of people. I mean, I'm interested to see the next character they make and the different variations of what different kind of things these snowfall gems can kick out. Can they kick some X gems? People are going to be able to make the entire board botch gems, etc., and things like that. I think I finished around 1,500 shards. That's kind of to be expected. They definitely weren't going to give him out the easy way. He's pretty fun overall. I haven't really thought into where I'd rank him. He's definitely in the top tier. I'm not sure. He does. I think his best class doesn't use multiply gems, so that kind of puts him apart in the acro debate. Him and Taker sitting to the side where everybody else is sitting behind the multiplication wall. But pretty good event. What were the tour requirements for that? I don't remember off of hand, so I'm not sure how restrictive that tour was or not.
I can't remember off the top of my head right now.
Was it Adam Cole?
Was it? No, I don't think it was Adam Cole and Lana.
Was that the Adam Cole and Lacey one?
It was Adam Cole.
It was.
Adam Cole.
It was Adam Cole.
Adam Cole.
Oh yeah, so yeah, that was bad. Because I don't believe Adam Cole's a very. I wouldn't even say he's probably in the bottom 10% on, maybe even less than that of character's own. Especially when they make the new character one of the tours like they usually do. But yeah, overall it was about the same per usual with the trials. I hope they keep them coming. Nothing overly great. It's free stuff, so I'll take it.
fair enough.
Yeah, I was in the same boat as AJ. That I didn't get him for it. I think it was about 2 days. 2 days later, I got him. I got to have a quick muck around with him. Being blatantly honest, I didn't even pay much attention to shards, how much any shards I got, because I knew I wasn't going to get him. I actually had to check when you launch the subject on here. I think I ended up at about just over 1,000. Basically, it was fun to play with. The new gems I thought were pretty cool, to be honest. Quite like that concept, and they ought to do more like that. I quite enjoyed that. But the brutal truth is, I used him to max 2 coin events.
Yeah, I remember you used them for max and coin events and to pursue a little further in the road.
Yeah, that's it. That was it. But I did like the concept of the new gem. That was pretty cool, I thought. And he's not a bad. I don't think he's a bad card.
I think he's an exceptional card if you've got the right trainer. The one trainer you really need for the R-Truth is Hogan. If you have Hogan to get that extra gem as a coach, for me, he is probably the top acrobat.
Why do you say
And
that?
I had this argument with Brian because he's saying that he just doesn't hit hard enough, and he's like tried saying that multi gems was like better like Triple H, and I was like, dude, mine's level 120, and he's doing 600k damage turn 2 at level 120 before he's maxed out. The only thing I done was I didn't care about not having missing shards for him for TP and stuff, because I only wanted to focus on 3 moves, because it was just the way I wanted to run him. The 3 moves was the move that generated blue gems. I could only have 5 of, which sort of like I needed 6, because the way I was doing it was with the top row, I was putting essentially 3 on the top row, 1 on the second row, and then I'd get a free match somewhere else. I needed 6 gems. If I had 6 gems, I could get all 3 moves off turn 1. And then I'm blowing up the board.
What are you talking about, Vin? How are you
So
running
with
this guy?
right, let me just get the picture up of the screenshot I had, and I'll tell you exactly what I was doing. Go to a conversation. Because for me, when I was doing this, I thought it was hella fun. Right. So the way I was running him was, so I was doing purple, blue, purple.
Just put it in the live chat so we can see what you're talking about.
Right. Okay. Let me just I'll take the pictures.
What's that screenshot of moves?
Yeah. So let me just. Did I get the trainers as well? I can't remember. Right, I'll take a picture of that one as well.
Yeah, you can go ahead and put Drew's setup in there also.
No, I'm going to send you that. I'm going to send you that privately, broker.
Can you send it to me too when you're done sending it to him?
Like, I know how people were using Truth, which, I mean, it's solid, but I'm just
Where should I put in the pictures too, Bob?
In live chat, where everybody's talking.
Podcast live chat, okay. Right, so, this was the setup I was originally using.
You should be asking him to text while he's clearing the submarine. Bob.
Right, yeah, that's the setup everybody uses, yeah.
Right, well, hang on, right, so what I was doing was, obviously, Woods and Seth, and on that picture that I've now just put in now, where I've only got 5 gems, I've sort of shown what I was trying to achieve. So, as you can see, it's like I've done, on the top row, column 1, 2, and 4. Second row, column 3. So then that's going to generate a 4-row break.
Sure.
And then obviously if I would have had the 6th gem, which would have been from the coach, on the right hand side I've got the 1 blue gem, and obviously I've gone on the red gem. Now if I could have changed the top one, obviously there's my blue match. Now that is ready on turn 1. So then I was basically hitting me purple buff, the purple move, and I was basically generating the blue move. So then I'd use the row break to break all my snow columns.
Sure, I mean, you could also do that if instead of running Seth and Hogan, if you just ran Lawler.
No, but because you want to have all 3 moves ready turn 1.
They would be ready if they were turn 1.
No.
Yeah. Yes, Vin. They're all 7 MP. It's 7, 7, and 4. So
No,
if instead of Seth,
so no,
right?
you'd have to go no. So you'd have to go double MP, but I weren't going double MP because I was trying to maximise his damage. If you have Hogan, you don't need to run double MP. You can just run one.
So, right, but who are you running then as trainers in this?
I was running Trickster Seth for 35% purple gem damage, and I was
Okay.
running Woods to get all them off turn 1.
Right. So if you skipped Seth and ran Lawler, you would be turn 1.
But then you're not going.
You're
You're not going to
get
hit
the
anywhere
damage.
as hard.
I get what you're saying, but that's why people are saying that he's not as great. So yes, in theory, if you had Hogan or if you had Hall of Fame Sting,
As long as you can make 6 gems, he's absolutely fantastic.
he's good. I'm not arguing that, and I don't think anybody is, but he still has a cap on how much damage he can hit. That's what everybody is saying, and that's what it comes down to.
That's why I was saying if you've got the one coach that you need, then he is phenomenal. And that one coach is like whoever gives the extra
It's
gem,
Hall of Fame
i.e.
Sting,
Hogan.
yeah.
And Hogan. Hogan gives one as well, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I'm more concerned that Vin's battery is only at 13%.
Is that what?
But
13%.
Oh yeah, that's because it's on charge.
So
You took a screenshot of a screenshot.
he's very good.
Yeah,
I'm
I have
not
to go into a
saying
conversation.
I'm not saying he's not. Yeah, there's always times during feud where you're gonna only start with 6 MP, not 7, or when they decrease your gems. There's always times around it. But overall, yeah, solid card. Not arguing that, but I don't think that he's the best. I definitely don't think that he's the best acro.
Oh, I do. Just for the sheer fact of the damage he's putting out. Because I always say with Taker, right, he's always hit and miss whether he gets the cascade.
Sure.
And for me, that's one of the downsides to him. Is sometimes, yeah, okay, he'll put out a cascade of doing 5, 6, 7, 800k. And then there's times he'll hit you for 30k, 50k, and just not do much.
Yeah.
And then when you're kicking out, you're changing his trap gems into multi-gems, and then he doesn't get a match anyway, so he doesn't really benefit those. But again, sometimes he can still do a lot of damage. And then when you look at other acrobats, a lot of acrobats get hurt because of basically the multi-gem reduction. So that's why for me, he is, if you have the correct character and coach, he is for me probably the best acrobat because he doesn't get hurt as much. You're talking about getting gem reductions in feuds, but you've also got the same one that counterbalances that by giving you the extra gems. So you're just going to beat basic numbers. Same with Showdown. If anything, you're going to be better in Showdown because you're going to have more. The only downside is you've got the gem reduction. So the move reduction. So it's like, you're going to be able to have a character there. Now, if this gets done to someone like the Striker, then, their damage is going to be phenomenal.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I could never see someone like a Striker getting it. I can only ever see him being on really acrobats and showboats, just because they don't really hit that hard.
Potentially a technician.
I feel like...
But I get what you're saying.
Well, yeah, but see, with technicians seem to get the more cascades, I find. When I face technicians, they seem to get the most cascades majority of the times.
That I won't put any money into. But anybody else on R-Truth before we move on? Thoughts on the card, the trial, the event, the RNG? I wasn't a huge fan of the RNG. Yeah, I was not a huge fan of the RNG personally.
I don't think anybody was.
I just don't understand how they can expect a shard recruit that high based on RNG.
I was.
What do you mean? You did enjoy getting 2 shards?
I was top 20 throughout the first 2 or 3 feuds, I think. And then after the final one, the final 2, I dropped to 400th. And then after the final 1, I dropped out of top 600. Just other people hitting RNG.
I don't even think his shards were pulling from where, even if they were available in the loot pulls.
Very rarely, if any.
A few, but it wasn't very many, and there was a ton of people that pulled on that loot.
Yeah, I mean, as much as
I
people
pulled
wanted
50
to,
shards out of a 30 pull. That was it.
for as much as people wanted to complain about the 1 or 2 shards coming in the Uno Dos Trace loot, I mean, the truth loot had none. It was a shame because the rewards for getting his shards were ridiculous.
Yeah.
Which is why the shards were so rare.
Yeah, that's why, because it fed right into the event.
I didn't
Right.
even hit the third milestone in that solo.
Yeah, I
After
didn't. I
maxing
don't think I
everything
hit.
else out.
I don't think I did either. That was like the 30
So
something
yeah,
thousand when it was ugly. So
here's a
I just
question for you, T-Bob. Are you going to do the showdown that's just dropped?
I
Since
was
there's no event to it.
I was just gonna say. So for everybody that is unaware, it's currently 3 p.m. I know we haven't wrapped up as of yet. No, we normally try to, but we do have one more thing to talk about. So for anybody that wants to go, obviously totally understand that. Mixed Match Showdown just popped. If you want to go get your coins, feel free. It looks like it is male first and then female. So that looks like
Yeah,
it's
but
going to be
there's
pretty
no
solid.
event for it. It's just that the most you can get to is league the
Um,
15K.
well, yeah, what we're going to talk about right now after we move on from the R-Truth event, unless anybody else on the R-Truth event before we move on.
I'm still puzzled why. I get that they don't want people to unlock cards, but I just feel like they would make a whole lot more money if.
They they would. That's how Champa and Drew happened. I don't know if Cable's here, but if Cable's here, we talked about that months ago. We talked about that during the Champa and Drew events that we both looked at each other and went like, yeah, we're pretty close. We have the majority of the required cards. We can climb all the way up the milestones. And one of two things either happens. Either A, we get the card, or B, we can spend a little bit to guarantee ourselves the shard recruit because they took the card out of the milestones eventually. And that was their way of guaranteeing. And it was like, you know what? Yeah, for 20, 30, 40 bucks on the weekend, after grinding it out, if I want to pay 20, 30, 40 bucks and get myself a new card, I'll do it. And that's how they used to have it, and they haven't gone back to that showdown style since.
They said, and they never will.
I mean, yeah, too, Bob. We did talk about that a bunch, like how that was a big deal for you and me. Anytime I can guarantee myself a new card by spending what's within my budget, I pretty much always do that. And since then, I think the only things we've had that I would consider kind of close are when we have the faction events for like the
Texina?
and the Beths. Well, yeah, Texina, that kind of spending event, I think pretty much everyone could get behind, where you get a card if everyone spends like 30, 40 bucks and you get a bunch of resources, regardless of how good they are, new cards like that. So maybe we'll see more like that too. But, like Beth was the faction event.
Yeah.
And Rhea you got from faction event. Zombie Oscar, I think, as well, was a milestone in faction event. So I like those kind of events a lot. But I do miss the solo aspect where you could hit Showdown up and grind it out. And then, like you were saying, 50 bucks, maybe you get the card. Maybe if you have enough requirements, you get the card without spending, that kind of thing. I definitely miss those.
Yeah, but those are long gone. That's all I think about. So like when I think about and I listen like to Bear's comment of like they would make so much more money, the answer is that they did. Like they did make that much more money because there were people like Cable and I who were, it was almost like a guarantee. It was almost like a subscription for us every showdown. It was like, hey, we're going to get really, really fucking close. We have the majority of the requirements. They're usually pretty decently leveled up or beefed up where they can get through a showdown match or two or enough requirement matches. And yeah, you've subscribed me up for about 50 bucks every other weekend because I'm getting a new card. And that was a way of income for them. But they've flipped it on its head and they've since turned it into the old school way of just doing mega pulls and loot pulls. And that's just how they've gone back to it. But anybody else on the Truth event before we talk about what's going on currently with the showdown and the rework? Going
Showdown
once,
and the rework?
going twice.
Uh-oh.
Sold. All right. So, JBL had a rework done to him. Hawk, the trickster card that everyone else has been bitching and moaning about forever. They'll never get him. They'll never get him. Well, now's your chance to never get him also because he's in the loot and you won't get him. They've reworked him completely from head to toe. He no longer has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shuffle moves. He doesn't have a single shuffle move actually. Very good card. Very, very, very viable card. Cool for Attitude Trickster for people that don't have NWO Macho or Hogan, can fit the slot. If you just so happen to be one of the lucky guys who had him from the past. I was one of those lucky guys who had him at 5K. Had him at 5555 talent for over 2 years now. and he hasn't moved since. I literally haven't changed his moves up until this week when he was in the event, and I just switched a couple moves out because they are now viable moves to use. He is a sub user now, has some leech gems. He generates a shitload of purple gems. Um, he did not only have 3 shuffle moves. He shuffled columns, he shuffled rows, he shuffled the board. Sorry, he had 4 shuffle moves, not 5. And then at 5-star, he unlocked a finisher which shuffled a 4x7 area. So if you must know, yes, he had 4 shuffle moves, not 5. My apologies. Columns, rows, board, and then a choose 4x7 area. Um, so yeah, more than half his moveset was shuffle moves. No longer that, has some very, very, very strong leech gems at 5-star. I think they go up over 170,000, what gets left from the submission. So you can sort of plan around that and gain a lot of health back. Watching Cable's preview on it kind of showed how viable he was, and even if you lose health on a shit board, how it doesn't really matter provided you can get your own colors in return. Obviously, if you're fighting a big time opponent, that will be an issue, but as long as you don't get pinned, you seem to have a very viable way of fighting your way back out and punching back up with him, to the point where you don't lose any health on the match. So great card, new interesting rework on him. I'm interested to hear everybody's thoughts on the card itself, and then the event that they came out with. So the event and why nobody's really in a rush to go do Showdown right now. They tied a loot pull purchase point earning method, I should say, towards the event, like we were talking about. They've done with all prior blitzes and whatnot, more or less everything this month. So for coins, you could purchase these 2021 loot coins in the store, and it was, I think, 1,000,000 coins for 22 pulls on the loot, and I think it was 4,000,000 coins was the limit because they limited it to 4. And if everybody did that and spent the 4,000,000 coins, the entire faction more or less maxed out the event. And by doing that, no one really needed to do any Showdown because there's no solo event tied to Showdown, and there's no bonus characters that are tied to Showdown. So if you want to do Showdown, it's mainly for your coins, and you can save up. And like we were talking about earlier in the podcast, there may be a Showdown event for next month MLC. They may start it with it, but nobody really knows. So if you want to and save your coins up, it's not a bad idea, but not really necessary. Kush, to address that, you could spend a total of 6.5 million, but for everybody to max it, you needed everybody to spend the 4, because the 1,000,000 coins for the 22 pulls was a better rate than the 500,000 coins for the 5 pulls. So it was a huge drop off for doing that. But if everybody did the 4 mil, it was pretty much done. So like Vin was talking about, no one really needs to go do Showdown. You can if you want. Personally, I will not be rushing to it. I will probably be using Sako and Sasha throughout the most of it towards later this evening. Pick up some easy coins, try and stockpile them just in case there is a Showdown event next week, because Broken does make a good point that there hasn't been a feud which started out, and usually it's just Showdown events.
Not saying it won't happen.
Right, you never know. But it's always better to be prepared than not. And I think I will sign up for that one. If it starts to be a lot of health packs being used, then I will just simply stop. And I will take whatever coins they want to give me and use those to move on.
No.
But that's,
Look at the fact that
that's my outlook.
53 factions have already maxed this event.
Yeah, so part of this also, I sort of forgot to include this in the description of it. The max milestone of the event has the bad attitude plate in it, and it's a faction event, so everybody in the faction gets the bad attitude plate. So there's now 5,300 additional bad attitude plates out in the community because of all the coins that have been spent over this weekend and all of the Showdown matches that have not been played. So, like Broken was saying, he thinks there's going to be a little bit of a have a backlash or a little bit of upsetness from.
I think it's too late to roll back. However, there's going to be some very unhappy employees once they get into the office on Monday and look at the numbers and they're like, "Oh, hold on, what?"
Well.
So what do you think they're gonna? You'll probably get 75, maybe 100 factions that end up maxing this.
I'm sure you'll get 75 by the time everything's said and done. 75 factions look like they'll be maxing it.
It's going to be a lot of bad attitude plates out in the wild. Not like it's going to make a difference for everybody, but
it's not going to make a massive difference because there's only like 4 or 5 characters that can really utilize the plate, and most of those characters are still pretty rare.
Yeah, I found I think I like made a list with you last night on them. There was a good
Yeah,
chunk,
but a lot of them
aren't top notch. It's just people.
They're not top characters.
It's just people that can use them. Yeah.
So.
But it is interesting to say the least.
So if you hypothetically went to another faction, could you get another plate? Or did they stop that?
No,
they stopped that.
They put a hard stop on that ever since I forget whatever event that was, but
It wasn't the Rhea Showdown.
Yeah, well, no, the Rhea Showdown was a little bit different. They had already put a stop to it a little bit before that. I think it was during the month that Sean was the MLC. Was pretty much like I think the Godfather event was the last time you can do something like that, and the Powerhouse Beth event was the last time that you could really abuse milestones. So,
not that I was planning on doing that. I had it the first time, and I couldn't find a good use for it.
I've got 3 of them, and I got one on Zombie Roman, and other than that, it's like, all right, well, Zombie Asuka and maybe Harper. I don't know.
I've got mine on Acro Macho. It helps him out a lot.
Yeah, well,
I've got mine on my non-existent Acro Macho.
When I pull him, maybe I'll be inclined to put it on him.
I just can't pull the damn belt.
I do currently have one on Zombie Roman, and I do currently plan on using one on Gooker. So I know there's a lot of hate coming my way, and I deserve it.
I've got one on Big E.
Yeah, I was thinking about Big E instead of Luke Harper, but I'm not sure yet.
I've got one on HBK. Probably the other one on Big E, probably.
So, are you coming on to play Among Us too, Bob?
Well, hang on. Before we do that, let's discuss one more thing.
Yeah, we're not done with the podcast just yet, Vinny. But
yeah, I'm asking a question.
I will afterwards. Ain't a problem.
Good man.
Let's discuss next month's MLC. If nobody else has anything else to say about the JBL event.
Yeah, if anyone wants to talk about JBL, the rework, or the event itself, I know I was trying to give like a rundown on it. I didn't really want to talk for everybody. But I like I was saying, I am interested to hear what you guys think on the new JBL, where you think he does fit. Did you spend to chase him? I know I spent not chasing him because I already had him, but trying to chase other shit during the event. I ended up getting Big Show from a Shard Recruit, NWO Big Show, which was cool. And then ended up spending a fucking shit ton more to get jack shit. But there was a lot of people pulling some good shit, so I figured, why not? Let me give it a try. I've seen a bunch of Trickster Hogans pulled and APAs pulled, so I figured, let me see if maybe I get one. And nope.
I think the event's great. To be honest with you, just the amount of sheer resources you can get for very little. I mean, you got to do a just fuck ton of blitzes. But the tours were easy. I thought that was great. I don't really like the making him a 2000 shard recruit and not even making his shards available.
It's a good thing you said something about the tours. One thing I don't like is they're all the same difficulty, normal, hard, and hell, which is fine because it's intended that way for you to use each specific card in each specific tour. The only thing I don't like is unless you're VIP 11, you can't pick and choose which ones you can and can't do. So somebody like me, I don't have a couple of the guys from normal leveled up at all. So I wouldn't have been able to access hard, and in turn wouldn't have been able to access hell.
Yeah, that was an issue.
I think that is the biggest issue. If they did something like this again, I'd implore for them to do
free to play cards at normal and then move up.
Well, no, not even like that. Just have it as a completely open thing with maybe 1,000 coins as each reward, and then have all the rewards that we have now locked behind the CSS and make the CSS that Tor's character.
Sure, yeah, that works. Kind of like they do with the monthly.
Yeah, this way, okay, well, you don't have Stephanie McMahon leveled up, but you still want to get to hardware, you could use Beth Phoenix, let's say. I think that's the best way to have done it, in my opinion. And it's giving, what, 1,000 coins, so 4,000 coins per tour. What's that, maybe 160,000 coins altogether? You know what I mean? It's not that serious.
Yeah, I'm very guilty of never remembering that everybody doesn't have access to Hell right away.
Exactly.
Because I was going to say I absolutely love the setup of how everything was the same, 15 different superstars. I thought that was pretty cool. Four for each. So what do you got? 60 matches with 15 people. That was pretty cool. Yeah, I do
cool
like your
setup.
idea of making the CSS setup so that those
I
that
mean,
don't have the Hell
yeah,
requirement
exactly.
can get it.
They already have a system in place. Utilize it. And that's going to be one thing that I recommend come Monday. That if they ever
Just
do
make it
something like this again.
15 tours, since they were all the same difficulty. Just make them 15 tours and just have a normal mode.
Yeah, I think what they did was they just tried to cut it back so that it wasn't a huge page full. And it's hard to just do a normal mode.
Yeah, I don't
But
think
like
they
I
can
said,
do just normal or just hard or just hell
So-
anymore without implementing the
So
like
for
the
them
locked
to just
tour.
turn around and just give them an open requirement, just leave it wide open, and if you beat it, cool, you got 1,000 coins per node. Like, nobody really wants to do tours for 1,000 coins per node unless they can get to harder hell and actually get the real rewards.
Yeah, I don't think they can do just one difficulty unless they make that blocked thing again, where you
Yes.
just can't go in. So I'm fine with the way they set it up. I also do like the setup in the sense, like Flo was talking about. I like how everything was the same. I like how it was all the same talent. It was all the same characters. If it was a female tour, started with Nia Jax. If it was a male tour, it ended with Showboat Shawn Michaels. It was always the same characters, always the same talent. I was fine with that. I thought it was weird that they strapped up the male opponents in Hell mode, but not the female opponents. Was weird to me. But I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, I don't like the fact that they put all the top tier cards like Beth Phoenix, Texina, and stuff in normal mode. Really shitty for the people that don't have VIP.
Agree.
Um,
I
And-
just
and-
want to throw this out there. I am so happy that they reworked him and made him viable. I've been sitting on him at 5K and even 5,000
5,555.
since
That's
he
where I've
came
been.
out.
I've been 5,555 because I actually took him up to max for a while on coins and the TPs that he had. Because I was using him for the longest time as my first 3-star card for like 2 months after I pulled him. That's the only reason that he's actually up there. It was pretty funny. But yeah, I do think he's viable. Before we move on, we could talk about the event, or you guys can talk about what you think of him, and then we can move on to upcoming monthly.
They ruined him. He was the shuffle master. Now they completely ruined him, and I don't want him anymore. If they would have just brought him back as is, I would have pulled for him. But now that they completely ruined him,
completely ruined
nothing.
Oh god.
I love him. Like tricksters, mostly. Like very few are you actually going to win turn one with. In general, as far as tricksters go in feud or that kind of thing. If you try naming how many tricksters can do 300k on turn one, it's very slim. He can do that. He can recycle amazingly well. You toss the sub in, now he can recycle, then slow you down, then heal himself. from a trickster class standpoint, I think he's top tier easily. And I put him up there with any trickster. So top three to five, no problem for me. Just because of his versatility, you don't need any row trainers. You can run multiple different MP trainers. He's going to fit in any feud lineup easily for that reason. Like, whatever trainer you have left, use that build for JBL. Going to be really good for blitzes because he's super low charge. Really, really good for blitzes. So I think amazing rework, really cool card. And I like that the leech gems are so strong and the only way to get to them is through the sub. If you play smart, though, it's really easy to get them left on the board and start connecting with them. And also makes it super easy to kick out, too. If someone does land a big pin on you when you have them on the board, that counts as kick out damage, that 179k, plus it heals you at the same time. So super cool card, and I think really neat to play. I like him a ton. I wish I had him.
You're gonna work
I
him.
I personally don't understand how he's a 2,000 shard recruit, but you can't even get his shards.
Coming soon.
It just did. I don't know. I thought they missed on letting a lot of people get him this weekend. One, because the RNG is terrible in his loot, as Bob and I know really well. I think the second piece is a lot of people already had him. So in my mind, it would have made sense that if you were able to do all of his tours, that there was something at the end of this. To
Think
even
of it
get
like Acom and Razor, though. Lots of people had them.
right.
Anyone else think that, given the fact that Wade Barrett is now announcing for NXT, there's a better than good chance we'll see a rework of him now too?
Potential.
I'm hoping they bring him back. He's the only card no longer available in the game that I'm missing.
There's potential. There's certainly potential.
I'll ruin him too.
Ruin my ass. That card's so trash.
Broken,
Anybody else? Anybody else on JBL?
Well, I was going to ask Broken if he could maybe get him to bring back Devon Dudley. That would be great for me.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah, can we get Big Cass back too?
Yeah, if only, man. Shit cards. Anybody else on JBL? Going once, going twice.
Did I mention the RNG sucks?
The RNG blows. Bear, I'm with you on that one. All right, sold. Let's talk about the final topic. Next monthly. Broken, I think you wanted to say something, or do you want me to carry it away?
I think what they're doing for next month, if all the rumors are true, is a massive gain for the community. As of right now, the rumor is Hall of Fame Roddy Piper will be the free character. No idea what class he is yet, because they are starting to try to hide this sort of thing from us by making all males coming out powerhouses and all females coming out technicians, and then changing them right before their release. It looks like the chase is right now going to be Trish Stratus Hall of Fame. But the important part is they're getting a male Hall of Fame to all the people that did not go for Booker T or want to spend thousands of dollars. Last month we got Nikki Bella for free. Everyone will now have a male and a female Hall of Fame to be able to use. And I think that is massive, because Hall of Fame being its own era, it locked way too many people out of way too much stuff. I mean, look at the Royal Rumble Round 5 tours. You've got 5-star silver Hall of Fame characters blocking Hell mode, and you can't get to it no matter what you do unless you have a male Hall of Fame card. And I've spent ugly amounts on this game. I spent ugly amounts on those loots. I still don't have a male Hall of Fame card. So people that don't spend, unless they got lucky with Eddie, probably don't either.
Or Booker.
I
mean, Mile, get broken. Sorry.
No, go ahead. What were you saying?
I was going to say my only concern with the Hall of Fame characters is really the lack of tokens to move them forward. So if that economy changes this month,
I disagree.
The only ones that are hard to get are the last ones.
the 4s and the 5s are pretty difficult to get.
All right, so I'm going to disagree in the sense of this month will be all Hall of Fame. I'm sure we're going to see Hall of Fame tokens being handed out. I'm sure the 5-star ones will be paywalled. Don't get me wrong. But it might not be able to be done right this second, which sucks. But the Showdown store does have Hall of Fame tokens up to 4-star.
Mm-hmm.
And it gives people that sit there and cry, well, I've got 200,000 Showdown coins and nothing to ever spend them on. Good, now you've got something to spend them on. Now you have a reason to continue playing Showdown. Don't sit there and cry and say you don't want to do Showdown.
Oh, I think that's fair.
You just spent 140,000 Showdown coins getting Hall of Fame tokens. In the 1-stars, 2-stars, 3-stars, and 4s.
As soon as they announced Nikki, I was like, all right, well, I don't have any Hall of Fame, so I never really tracked my Hall of Fame tokens. I need X amount of 2s, X amount of 3s, and X amount of 4s. I'm now, I think, 4 tokens short of bringing Nikki to 4-star gold when I start working on her. Everything else I've got all the tokens for. That was just from doing Showdown this month. Like I said, it's not a right here, right now thing, but it gives viability to an entire game mode that people didn't give a fuck about.
It was like with the China tokens. You had to get so many when you fell short.
Yep.
Like my first Showdown was going through 20 tokens of China, which is like 110,000 Showdown coins.
Yeah.
I mean, this month for sure, if they give out a free one, I will take him as far as I can with the free tokens. Like you said, Broken, for the requirements, whether it's tours, whether it's feuds, whether it's blitzes. We had plenty of them before. Now we certainly will. So I plan on taking Nikki at least. She was going 9K for Orton anyway, but Nikki's going to go to at least 4-star gold for me. Just for requirements, and then if there is a free Hall of Fame card, I'll take them as far as I can, even if they're garbage, just to fill lane requirements. So we'll see. Hopefully it is Piper, because I love Piper, and hopefully he's a solid free to play card.
As of right now, it's definitely Piper, and I'm assuming the chase is Trish, because Trish just recently had her class changed in the code. So usually the free and the chase are the first 2 they did. If she is not the chase, expect her to be the first weekend event. So, which it's weird because Trish being a chase again 2 months later.
Yeah, that is weird. That's definitely weird. I was kind of hoping the chase would be a male, since we just got free Nikki, but I mean, I'll take it, whatever. If I can get it, I don't care.
It might be. There's 4 Hall of Fame males and 2 Hall of Fame females in the code. There's Wendy Richter and Trish. There's Piper, Andre the Giant, which Andre the Giant, you know for a fact they're going to make money off of. And I forgot who the last 2 are, to be honest with you.
Honky Tonk.
Oh, yep, Honky Tonk was one of them. And
Rick Rude.
And Rick Rude was the other one. So it's possible, in my opinion, giving Rick Rude and Wendy Richter away, or Honky Tonk Man and Wendy Richter away, would be the biggest ways to monetize the month, because all those other cards are going to draw money. Especially if they're halfway decent, which pretty much almost all the Hall of Fames have been.
Do we know if they're going to change the loot format, or are they going to keep it the same as it was before for Hall of Famers?
Well, I don't know. But if you look at the last couple loots, there have been shards for Nikki and Brie Bella in the loots. There's now Eddie Guerrero in the Loot Hall of Fame.
I know, that's why I'm curious to see if maybe they're going to give up on that old format for the loot.
I think
Hall
you're
of
going to
Famers.
start
Fingers
seeing.
crossed.
I think you're going to start seeing a lot more of them in the loots now. I think you're still going to have the induction events this month. I don't think all of them are going to be induction events because that would just be silly of them. But I think the induction loots aren't going, or the induction events aren't going anywhere.
What I would like to see is if they do Hall of Fame, like a big one once a year, and then like a mini one like
Brutus the Buck, take a look at
maybe Masters of the Universe. It'd be cool to see them do like on the big one, like a prize wall. Maybe some of your prize wall coins can go towards shards of some of the older ones that have been around a while or something like that. That would be kind of cool.
Yeah, I think next month's prize wall will have Hall of Fame tokens.
We'll end up having Eddie and Bree shards. Watch.
That would be awesome. I would take that.
That would be perfectly fine for the majority of people.
I would definitely spend my entire prize wall currency on Eddie.
Yeah, I mean, I would like Bree for that extra black gem.
Same.
I hope they there's a big strap issue with them as well. So only a few have legendaries that are available.
I think we'll hopefully start seeing female Hall of Famers or male Hall of Famers. I don't know. I can't speak for them. But if they're pumping out this many Hall of Fame characters, I would say that Hall of Fame probably arguably has more characters than the PG era or the reality era, say.
By the end of this month, probably.
Yeah, I mean, you figure there's probably already 10 of them, and you got another 6, that's 16 of them.
Yeah, I'm looking now. It looks like they'll have the reality era beat, but PG, there's more than you realize.
Okay. I think Ruthless is still pretty slim.
I think that's got about 16, 17.
Yeah.
Ruthless has 16 exactly, unless I'm missing someone, which I might be.
We need a Hall of Fame NXT guy.
Yeah. Unless Triple H gets a Hall of Fame, you ain't gonna see that.
Yeah, seriously.
Can we get Regal?
Right?
He needs to be.
That's,
there's another.
That's one way to get Bob to go broke.
Shut up. On that
Can you start a petition to get Regal in the game?
Hall of Fame.
That note.
Hall of Fame Regal and Hall of Fame Eddie, they're 2-star bronze card guaranteed, flat out, just for the price of $2,500. I will have to talk Bob off a cliff.
And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, the round table will come to a close.
But I think next month, if you're not in a faction that's competitive enough, or if you're low on resources and you were thinking about taking a month off and you see next month as like, oh, yay, we get more of those bronze statues, cool. That's not the month to take off. I really advise everybody to kind of go all in next month, however they can, because Hall of Fame's not going anywhere. Said it the same for the females, and females are used now just as much, if not more, than they've ever been used. And when push comes to shove, this would be the best way. I don't know if they're doing a special token for the freebie or if they're going to make us use Hall of Fame tokens. But regardless, get them. Get that character up to 4-star gold however you can.
I understood the concept of, a month off.
I usually do it.
The chase cards to help.
I usually do it if I don't
forward.
have the resources, like I'm low on TP. I know that I can do all the coin events and do all the tours and all this other stuff and still end up 40,000 points away from maxing the MLC anyways. So why dump all those resources to just end up short and then continue that trend of being just as short? So I understand the concept of taking a month off. Just because people take a month off doesn't mean that they don't open the game. They're still doing the tours. And by taking a month off, they're saying, I'm not spending coins, I'm not spending TP, I'm not bringing up the free card because I'll use them this month and that's it. They're just trying to basically hoard resources to get into a spot where next month they can go all in again.
Yeah, I've
That's
just done it.
yeah, that's the
Basically,
mentality of taking a month off. You still do
I
your
took Trish,
blitzes, you still do your feud, you still do your showdown.
basically, it's right. 'Cause I took Trish month off to build my resources back up. There's no way I'd have got anywhere near Orton if I'd have gone for Trish last month.
Yep.
Yeah.
Totally understand and agree with both of those angles also. I've definitely taken my months off here and there. I usually go 2 or 3 on and then 1 off. I was intending on taking this next one off. However, with all the projects that I have on my hit list, with it being Hall of Fame month, and with the amount of resources that I have come into, we can put it that way kindly, during the last couple of weeks, I'm not really concerned about going for this month or not. So by proxy, I will be going for it. It'll help me get my male tag team showdown. Not showdown, my male Hall of Fame tag team rather, for Booker and Piper. I now have Lita and Nikki for females. So I'm
I was gonna
solid.
say for you, it's smart because I can see them going from needing a Hall of Fame to needing 2 Hall of Fames going forward.
Yep. And I don't see any reason why I wouldn't. I tried to get the 4 gold fuse of Booker T, but that's a sore spot with me when they kind of shafted everybody by telling them when the prize wall would be pulled down, and it wasn't. And I used all my shit early, and if I didn't use all my shit early, I would have had enough to get him at 4 gold. But I didn't, so I got him at 3 bronze and had to take him and work him up the hard way. From 3 bronze, he's now all the way at 4 silver. Still not 4 gold. So it's been a shitty path and a shitty memory of Hall of Fame month. So hopefully I can get whatever this Piper is at 4 gold. And yeah, I'm definitely hoping I can manage to end up getting Eddie throughout the month without ending up, taking a second fucking mortgage out.
The good news is it doesn't look like he'll be a showboat.
Yeah. I think he'll be a trick, and he'll use Orton's colours, so you can't move Orton up.
Whatever colors he use, can it please not be blue or black?
Right?
Black. No black.
It'll probably most likely be black, to be honest with you guys.
I think he'll have black,
blue.
definitely.
He'll be like Macho, purple, black, blue.
No blue. No blue.
Be funny.
I mean, at this moment in time, I don't want any colour because I've got no TP. My TP is like 50.
Vin is sitting here like, fuck it, let me just use the 1-star Hall of Fame tokens as TP instead of TP.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, I'm in agreement of I don't have red or yellow, so I hope to God it's not a powerhouse, because if it's a powerhouse, it's using red and yellow.
Usually is. But all right, boys and gals, want to thank everybody for coming on out. We had a great time. Long podcast today, one of the longest that we've had in a long time. Huge shout out to everybody that stopped on by. AJ, Broken, Flo, Sam, Bear. I know you guys were the originals on the list. Vin, thank you for making an appearance. Cable, thank you as well for making an appearance. Appreciate all the input that you guys had as well. That'll be it more or less for Roundtable 18. I know Showdown is more or less already 40 minutes started, so if you guys want to start going on your coins, you can, obviously. I know we said we weren't really chasing. I'm not going to be starting anytime soon. I usually wait to start Showdown late these days. But I'll be around for another couple minutes or so. Probably going to go play some Among Us with Vin and some friends. And got a little bit of family coming over later tonight, so I'll be heading off relatively soon. Thank you guys for coming on out once again to Roundtable number 18. Number 19 and number 20, which is going to be huge, is almost upon us. And as I'm looking at the dates, Roundtable number 20 is actually going to be one day after my birthday, so I I may have to work on some scheduling on when we're gonna do that one, whether it's gonna be Saturday or what time it'll be on Saturday.
Just
but
do it on your birthday and get pissed.
Yeah, we
Yep.
Could. I'll see if I can take
Hopefully
the day off
there's
from
a
work.
shitty event that day too.
Bob Appreciation Day.
Yeah.
Live stream it. We'll throw bits at you to drink,
Oh.
Bob.
Yeah, right.
They'll have Hall of Fame Eddie one shard short of what he can get.
It's gonna be the end of the month too, so why don't you shut the fuck up?
If they
fair.
change and do Showdown next week, then it'll be on a different date.
True.
That's true. Yeah, we can always hope that happens. Who knows? But anyway, thank you all for coming on out. Huge shout out to everybody. Appreciate it. We're gonna kick it for a little bit, and if you guys have any questions in regards to what we were talking about on the podcast, feel free to hit us up on the live chat. After that, I'm gonna be heading out in a couple minutes to go and play some Among Us with some friends.